Not. Hey,
Full
we got
field.
9.
Good to see.
Wow, that is special.
What's
Every
even more
single
special
bloke rocked
is
up.
Costanzo's mullet. Lovely.
Is that rare?
Special?
He's got a mullet like yours.
It's better than mine.
Oh, it looks pretty similar.
We
Yeah,
saw Axel Cotter get the win with the mullet before. We'll make it 2 from 2.
we could be seeing Peter Costanzo.
Super shoes and a mullet. Same
Is that
as
not what he was
Axel
wearing
Cotter.
as well?
Yeah.
Do you have super shoes on?
Yeah.
Well, we may as well just give him the race now.
Plenty of super shoes in this race, though, so really it could be anyone's.
Yeah, I think there's...
7.
Yep. So by the power of deduction, how many aren't wearing super shoes?
2.
He's ready. He's ready for VCA.
Cripps and Dobe will be hoping to prove you don't need them to get the win.
Nah, they won't need him. And we are racing here in the men's D 800 metres. Let's see who can get out the quickest. Geez, looks like they're all going quick. Through this, the first 100. Izak's getting embarrassed by his fans down here at the track. It must be nice.
I think I'll be there, fans tonight, watching them run.
Ooh. It's who I'm a fan of, Andy McIntosh. And so too, your boy, Peter Costanzo, on the outside of him. So 26. Jesus, the track was already hot. Now it's on fire. Through this, the first 200 metres of the men's D 800 metres. So it is McIntosh. Costanzo starting to drop back a little bit there. I think it's going to be, or is it Guy?
Wait, no, it is McIntosh.
Oh, you
The
nearly,
sun and the shade.
you nearly got me there,
messed me
Izak.
up there, the lighting.
I wouldn't be surprised if I got it wrong, to be honest. So it would make a lot of sense. But McIntosh, geez, they're all absolutely humming right now. I think that's going to be Samuel Lowe on the outside. 57 on the clock.
Jeez.
Their old Scotch athlete in Brassington. Starting to get right on the outside of Andrew McIntosh. I reckon this is going to be one of the better races that we've seen tonight. It's nicely bunched here in the men's D 800 metres. 300 metres to go. The head starts turning and the wheel starts spinning. So let's see who can make the most of it. Andrew McIntosh, he's gone from the gun. Can we see a third gun to tape potentially? I think it's going to be a little bit of a bind, but see what they've got. I'm going to watch out for Peter Costanzo as well, who you mentioned early before the race, and now coming on the outside is Brassington. So Brassington gets there, 128 on the clock. Costanzo on the outside of him. So too is Glendington. So Glendington on the inside of there, Costanzo on the outside, and Bransington, he's going to try and pump his arms and get moving. I think it might be Peter Costanzo to make a move. He's gone right around him here, actually, our man in Glendington. So he's made his way around. The silver fox of the race is going to show the young fellas how to do it. Gets his arms pumping. Says if you want a piece of it, then maybe grow a little bit, because today is the day of Sebastian Brassington. He's going to make it move, and Peter Costanzo, the only one who might be able to rival. I don't think he'll get there. 158. Salute the crowd. Brassington gets it. Costanzo has to settle for second. Geez, there are bodies collapsing everywhere over this finish line. And how's that? The double fist pump at the end there for Sebastian Brassington. I almost thought he was going to rip out the Cobras. I would have loved to have seen the double Cobra from Brassington. And there you go. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Knows how to win, gets the win.
It's the super shoes.
Something in them.
Air Zoom victories on.
Hey, there's something about them. I agree with you.
There we go. First ever sub 2.
Oh!
With the stats.
Hey.
And the crowd's loving it.
The crowd is loving it.
Starting to build up.
There's actually a mad crowd down here because nobody wants to sit in the sun. So everybody's made their way back to the stand.
And you can see on the back straight, everyone's just huddled around the trees.
Yeah. No one's silly enough to sit in the sun, except for us.
The House Bend is the best spot though. Under the gum trees.
Yeah,
plenty of shade there.
It's very Australian over there. It's very homely. I'm entranced by Brassington. He didn't even just like barely dip under the 2 minutes. He obliterated it at 158.
Around that well, 57.61 I think for the splits.
That's a nice split. Seems the live stream is now up and running. Hello everybody. I'm not sure when it became up and running. I'm just checking it now. And let us know where you are, what are you doing, who are you here to watch. Do you want to learn more about Izak? Do you want to learn more about anything? Let us know. I'm tight. And he's not smiling. He's a serious man on the track. Yeah, serious man on the track. DJ Husdog. Doesn't like when I bring that one out, but it's accurate.
It's a good field. Some
Spencer Storen, Jack Lunn, Lockie Raper, Matty Hussey.
Jack Lunn's got to be the favourite.
Yeah, Jack Lunn.
National bronze medalist.
With hip number 4 on. Watch out for him. Him and his training squad certainly do plenty of speed.
He looks nervous.
Nah, he looks pumped.
Itching to go.
He looks raring to go.
Wants to go so he can't hear us talking about him.
Hey, I understand. Who wouldn't though?
In 5, from New South Wales, big welcome to Lachlan Rayner.
There we go. Come straight down from New South Wales.
Must have been at Falls. Done some training, come down.
Yeah, and then get a race in.
I think there's a few of them in the 1500.
Not a bad idea. There'll be a few doing that for the Zatopek as well on Wednesday. A lot of bodies coming down off the mountain for that one.
That'll be a good day.
It'll be a great day. And racing. So our men's A800 metres is underway. Let's see who can get to the front first. I think it's going to be our man on the outside. Is that a pacemaker?
I think it is, because
yes.
It's not Josh Tram.
So he's in that rising TC group. Jack Lunn, also a member of that group, so he's going to try and set it out, and he is flying. Lockie Raper going to try and get there first. Lunn not far behind him. Wolfgang Kochenemesi, Matty Hussey. He might not make the same mistake he made last time and get boxed in. He's paced them through 23. Geez, so they're not messing about here in the men's A800. Raper behind him there. Lunn tucked in beautifully as well. Wolfgang Kochenemesi. And Matty Hussey almost looks like he's holding on for dear life. That's how fast the pace is right now. So I'm unsure who this is pacemaking. He is from the rising TC. Lockie Raper right behind him there. Lunn, Wolfgang Kochenemesi and Matty Hussey are going to round out your official top 4. But they're going to try and take them through in a pretty bloody fast time. What, 51 on the clock as they go through. So Raper, Lunn, Wolfgang Kochenemesi and Hussey have a little bit of work to do to get on the back of them there. I'd say it's only a race between these 4 as we go through. Raper going to try and lead out. Lunn, 300 metres to go. Oh, you can feel the energy at the track right now, Izak. I've just about ripped your bicep off it. So here we go now. Lockie Raper, he's going to try and stretch out Jack Lunn, who looks incredibly comfortable. And as I've said that, Matty Hussey hasn't just gone past Wolfgang Kochenemesi. He is hunting down our top 2. 79 on the clock here. So Raper, Lunn, Hussey got a little bit of work to do, I reckon, here in the men's A800 metres. Raper's been able to take it from the gun. He might not take it to the tape. Lunn gets his arms pumping on the outside. Definitely wants to get a win here. Does Jack Lunn to start off his 2022 campaign. Raper doing a lot of the work. Lunn on the outside. I think Hussey's probably out of it here. It's going to be a race between 2. It's almost a race who can get less lactic. Raper on the inside. He's going to hold him out. Gun to tape. Look at the clock. 147 on the clock. 48. 149 for Matty Hussey. 147. Jeez. They set the track alight. Lockie Raper made the most of it. New South Wales athlete came down here and had to flex on all us Victorians. And there's a man to watch. 147 on the
January.
20th of January.
Jeez.
Don't sneeze at that.
They
My
went
goodness.
at a rapid pace.
Well, there was just no messing about, was there? I mean, they went out in about 23, 24 through the first 200 metres. And then it was just moving from there. This is a very exciting women's A800. This is a very exciting race. Mainly because we saw, hey?
See what? Wolfgang split. 52, then about a 60. It's not bad.
That's flying. You'd be
Storen
stoked with
as
that.
well. 2 under 18s. Going out of that pace.
God, that is moving for juniors. No,
You'd
that's
have had
hard, that's
them
hard to
covered
go.
back in the
Yeah,
day, Mitch.
no, God, no. And they would have embarrassed me for sure. Over 800 metres, without a doubt. So here we are, the women's A800. And we saw at the back end of last year what I'm going to call one of the most impressive 800-metre races I've seen from Ellie Sanford to run about a 2:04, I'm pretty sure it was, to start the season. Not at Nationals, not in February, not going over to Europe and they're racing over there. 2:04 to start the year. It was incredible. She's back. 102 across the chest. We also got Melissa Duncan, Australian representative as well, in this, the women's A800, smiling and laughing, having a great old time. Actually, I think she's got a friend photographer down here to our right. So got to look the part. We've also got Hancock Cameron, who absolutely flew last time as well with Ellie Sanford. So she didn't quite get that 204, but certainly put up a great old fight. Amy Robinson as well, Kiara Flavelle, Benson. I mean, it's a star-studded field. And Shanae Landon. So we are missing Rochelle Kennedy and Tess Kearsop-Cole.
On your mark.
And we are underway here in our women's A 800 metres. Oh, I'm interested to see who's going to get to the front first. I wouldn't be surprised if it is Ellie Sanford and try to follow on from that 204. And then watch out for Jayla Hancock Cameron.
If we're going to see a boxer win, it'll be this race.
Yeah, I probably agree with you there. She's got about 3 metres on Landon and Hancock Cameron behind them there. So too Melissa Duncan, Kiara Flavelle just in front of her there, but Ellie Sanford's just going to breeze it out in 28 seconds. So looking incredibly comfortable, just ticking off at 28 seconds. She's got about 7 metres on them now. Landon behind her there, so too is going to be Hancock Cameron. And Robinson going to try to move around the outside. So Robinson's going to go over all of them, actually. She's going to tuck in there beautifully in second place. But it's Ellie Sanford, I can't even stress this enough, floating down the home straight here for the second last time. 102 across the chest. We saw 204, I think it was the last time we saw her race in December. She's going to come through the clock here. 60 seconds on the nose. Robinson behind her there. So too is going to be Hancock Cameron, Landon, and so too Melissa Duncan. So she's got an absolute plethora of great athletes chasing her here. Does Ellie Sanford, but it looks like she's in a league of her own right now. Amy Robinson trying to get a piece of it. So too is Hancock Cameron, but Ellie Sanford just arching the back and accelerating away. Let's call it 76 on the clock, so only dropped 1 second there. 201 pace with 250 metres to go. Absolutely moving right now, Ellie Sanford. So doing it on her own. Amy Robinson going to try and peg her back. 200 metres to go. 131 on the clock. So she's maintained it. She's actually picked up a second on the back straight. 180 to go. Ellie Sanford done it on her own. Doesn't need anybody else around her. Got the motivation and the fire in the belly to run a fast enough time. So Sanford now starts to really pump her arms. Robinson's going to be challenged here by, I believe it's Hancock Cameron, but all eyes at the top of the straight. 148. Can we see a faster time than 204 from Ellie Sanford? So she is absolutely moving. The arms are pumping. 157 hits the clock as we talk. 2 minutes. 201, 202, 203. So she's gone just faster. Hancock Cameron as well comes through. Amy Robinson, 207 on the clock. Melissa Duncan at 209, I'm going to call it. And wow, that is tremendous racing in the women's A 800. Hold on, I don't want to knock any of this technology over here because we do have a special guest right in front of us. And I can't see, so I'm just going to assume that, yes I can. I'll take it back. So we are here with Lockie Raper. Lockie, walk us through the race, mate, or can you just tell us first, have you been to Falls Creek before this, or have you come down from New South Wales now? What's the vibe?
I was actually up in Nova Scotia with the boys and my squad. And yeah, so it was just good to get fit up there, have some time away from Sydney because we're in Sydney the whole year. So it's good just to change the environment there. Yeah, it was really nice.
So walk me through the race. You were absolutely flying. You went right with the pacer. Was that always the goal, or did you sort of just get into it, that was it, and you got moving?
Yeah, well, I just figured like season opener, you've got nothing to lose really, so may as well just go for it. So that's what I tried to do, just be a bit more aggressive today. And yeah, it's just nice to get a good hit out. You know, I'm in a good spot to continue for the rest of the season, so we'll see how it goes.
So you're going to be focusing primarily on the 800. What are the races that you got coming up? Where can we see you next?
Yeah, we're probably going to make a decision as to whether I do Canberra, which is next week, but we'll see how we decide there. But definitely going to do Adelaide and then Sydney and then see what happens with Melbourne. But I'm going to train through that. Yeah, definitely Adelaide and Sydney will be my next 2 big eights.
Well, I can't wait to what you do over in Adelaide and Sydney. Mate, well done. 147 is nothing to sneeze at. Fantastic racing. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lockie.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we are going to have a slight break here before we get into the 1500s. We may have another interview as well as we go along, but there will be a slight break.
goes to Lakeside Stadium on February 8th, I believe. It will be the running of the Victorian Milers Championship. So just another reminder for those of you who
All right, we are here with the winner of the, well, you've won back-to-back actually now, so two-time winner of the Women's 800. Ellie, walk us through the race. How did it pan out? You were looking so good from the start.
Oh, well, it's just to try and go out there and practice my pacing tonight. So I was going to get in big trouble if I went too hard, so I had a strict pace I had to follow, and I think it worked.
You hit it pretty well?
Yeah, I think so. We'll see. I haven't spoken to Terry yet.
I was saying as you came down the home straight, you looked like you were absolutely floating. Since we saw you last time, what training have you been doing? Have you been training a lot? Did you get away over the break? What does it look like?
Went up to Queensland, up to Noosa to get the beach break, so I didn't go to Falls Creek like everyone else, but I actually got food poisoning up there, so I was knocked out for about a week. So training was a little bit sort of up and down, but just needed to get that done, so Zatopek next week will be the focus.
Well, you ran an incredible race. What are you looking at next? Are you going around the domestic circuit? Where are we going to see you?
Yeah, COVID pending. That's the plan.
Have you had COVID yet?
No.
Okay, so you're dodging
could get stuck in isolation soon. Sort of waiting for that to happen. So yeah, COVID dependent. I will hopefully be around maybe Adelaide, Sydney. We'll see how we go.
Well, fingers crossed you get COVID at a convenient time. I don't know when that would be, but I hope it's a convenient one. But well done. You looked
Thanks,
awesome.
Mitch.
Hopefully you dodge it.
Thank you.
Well done, Ellie.
So let's turn our attention to the far side of the track for the first of our 1,500 metres event. It is event 21, the men's J. In section 1 from Glen Huntley, William Short, and 2 from Uganda, Dexter Hill. Section 4 we have Harry Lee. Section 5 from Box Hill, James Howe, and 6 from Williamstown, Bibile, Mitch. In 7 we have James Lee. In 8 we have Robert Pinchall. In 9 from the Williamstown, Russell Mexenko, and in 10 from Williamstown, Mexenko. 3 of them. In 11 from Mento and Chris Bergen. In 12 from Mengo University, Mason Woodward. In 13 from Williamstown, Ashley Sanderson. 14 from Mento and Matthew Bergen. 15 from James Hall. The Western Athletics, Brendan Barrett, in 16. So 15 starters in the men's day.
So we are back with our men's 1,500 metres, and we are underway. The men's J 1,500 metres, which would indicate we have a lot of 1,500 metres ahead, so don't go anywhere. So the men's J 1,500 metres is off. And who's going to kick us off out the front? I think it's going to be Bergen. So Bergen going to take it out. He's just been taken over through the first 200 metres here by an invitational athlete. We have about 6. Ooh, I was about to make that up. Let's say 5. No, 6. We've got 6 of them. So we'll see who makes their way around here. We've got a Box Hill athlete tucked in nicely behind him too. And I'll try and get a read on who that is. I think it's Howe. So Howe tucked in. Hall leading us out. So Hall, Howe. I'm going to try and get a read on 2873. Or it's Woodward. So through the men's J 1500, we've got a lead pack of about 3 who are going to try and work together here. So it's Hall, Howe, and Woodward. Hall Howe. That'd make a great name. Hall Howe. It's not his name because it's Hall and Howe on the outside, Woodward behind him there, and we have another, and I believe that is Bergen. So Howe, Woodward, Hall, Barrett Judd. And that is really showing my memory skills. And our men's J 1500. So we're going to go 800 metres around this athletics track in a moment's time. 2:34 on the clock. And do let us know where you're watching from, who you're watching, what you want to hear. Anything, really. We'll talk about anything on the stream. The most important thing we could talk about, though, is Howe leading out Woodward. Hall starting to drop back. Barrett Judd has a look at the watch just to see what his splits are going to be. But it is Hall. Woodward. Wow. 1:48.12, the official time of our men's A800. So that is absolutely flying in our women's 2:04.26 for Ellie Sanford. As we heard, she was just trying to get her pacing right. She dropped to 2:04. That's just incredible. So Howe going to lead it out at the bell. 3:32 on the clock. Starting to drop off a little bit here is Woodward. So too is going to be Hall and Barrett Judd in 4th place. So he tried to do his best to try and make up the pace. And he well and truly has. But it's just at the hands of Howe. So 300 metres to go. Almost an unassailable lead here for Howe. 3:52 on the clock. Looking incredibly strong. He's got about 25 metres back to Woodward. Back to Hall. Back to Barrett Judd. And back to Bergen. So it's nicely spread out here in our men's J 1500 metres. A great way to start the 1500 metres. A nice clean race. Nobody's fighting for each other or anything like that. Everybody's got plenty of room to make their way around. And the man who's made his best way around is going to be Howe. So Howe at Box Hill with 150 metres until he greets the tape. And he's arched his back and accelerated away. So Woodward right on the back. Hall going to try and go around him, though, and Barrett Judd has a little bit of work to do with 150 to go. But it is Howe as he comes down with a big finish line, let me just say. There is plenty of people down here still chasing the shade, I think it's fair to say. But it is all Howe. He's going to take it out here in the men's J 1500 metres. A great race. And let's say a 4:45 on the clock as he greets it. Still running past, still got a spring in the legs. Hall gets over the top of Woodward, and Barrett Judd comes down now. And that is a great race from Howe. How does he do it? So that had to be said. As we see with a lap to go, Ken Scholl. So Bergen and Bergen, as the rest of our field starts to make their way through. Sanderson, a Glenn Huntley athlete. Men everywhere here. And so we're coming down to the line, and with 300 metres to go, we just have Ken Scholl, who's running a phenomenal men's J 1500 metres. With 250 metres to go. So great running from these men in the men's J 1500 to kick off the proceedings of 1500s. So 200 metres to go. So Dimtrenko comes through too. 3 Dimtrenkos in that race. Looks like father, son, and son. And son. Well, it's a lot of Dimtrenkos.
And a few little assignats as well.
Yep.
Good to see.
Good to see the younger athletes getting around the Victorian Milers Club.
Practicing before they sign up for next season.
That's it. As we see Ken Scholl with 100 metres to go. Coming around out this men's J 1500. Well done to Ken Scholl. Certainly on track for a good run. So Rob Ken Scholl, good on him here. Going to come down and take it out with the, I think it's the Hokers on his feet. Great shoes to be able to use. So Rob Kenshall takes it through. 6:56 on the clock. Gets under the 7. That's great racing from Rob Kenshall. As we turn our attention to the women's E 1500 now. I think we got them all. 13.
Yep, 13 on the quick count.
Thank you. I'm learning my numbers recently.
Once again, lots of yellow. 13. 3 main tone athletes.
It's getting ridiculous. Just go to the beach.
Lots of Mentone and Doncasters today.
I don't know. They've come out in droves though, haven't they?
Not enough Box Hill. One in this race. I think at the home track,
we've had an
A lot of them.
Winner from Box Hill.
Does that make up for it?
Yeah, makes up for it the best we can.
Can you move that way or that way?
So the women's E 1500, all 13 on the track.
On your marks.
And racing. Here in the women's 1500 metres, the first of the night across the 1500 metre board for the women, the E 1500. And it's going to be our Box Hill athlete to try and get to the front first. That's Atkin, who's going to lead them out. And lead them out with a bit of authority as well. Let's call it 16 seconds through the first 100 metres. So certainly going to try and stretch this field out as best she can. And there's about a 20-metre lead right now through the first 150. So definitely getting after it, which we love. Atkin on her home track, as you mentioned, I was about to call you Box Hill. As you mentioned, Izak. Let's see what these Box Hill athletes can do. It's coming down to 300 metres, and Atkin
all on her own.
Is absolutely flying. So 54 seconds, I believe that is, through the first 300 metres. And let's see, of the Mentone athletes that we have in here, as many as there are, it's going to be Hastings to lead us out. Behind her there is Hutchins, and so too on the outside it's going to be Williams. But it's all Atkins. Comes through at 1 lap in 73. 73 seconds on the clock for Atkins. Be interesting to know what her PB is.
About 40-metre lead.
She's making an absolute mess of this field. 5:15. I think I just heard.
On track for that, I think well
Well,
under.
truly.
Yeah. Should be on track for around that 5 lap mark.
Yeah, 5-minute mark, I think. So Atkins still leading it out and only stretching away. I shouldn't say still leading it out. There's been no challenge to Atkins thus far in this women's 1500 metres.
50 metres on the field now, over 50.
I'd say, yeah, over. Being generous with 50. And so Atkins leading it down. We'll call it 75. It's close to being borderline 100. So Atkin got it. 2:15 on the clock. Doing it all completely solo. If this group's any chance of getting up to Atkin, they're going to have to start working together and going to have to start doing it pretty quick. It's still going to be Hastings leading this chase group. Behind her there is Williams, tucked in nicely. Also Hart, and so too Glenn Denning. So we've got a pack of about 5 who are potentially chasing Atkin. 2:38 as she goes through the 800 metres. Still looking pretty strong. Probably a little bit tired now. She had to do it on her own in the heat, but still looking good. With
250, 251, 252,
her second last time up the back straight.
255, 256.
So it's 600 metres to go. Atkin, 3 minutes on the clock. This pack is maybe starting to draw it back just a little bit. It's going to take a lot over 600 metres to try and catch Atkin. But I think if somebody's going to do it, it might be Williams. So Williams going to try and lead through this next pack. I'd say that lead of 70 metres has cut back to 50. So they've definitely pegged back 20 over the last 400. Can they peg back just a little bit more? So Atkin done it and done a lot of the work early as well. It's worth mentioning here. 470 hard slogging metres to go for Atkin. Still 50 metres ahead. And this is going to be a hard last lap, I reckon, for everybody in this field. Atkin still about 45 metres ahead, maybe. Here comes the bell. 3:49. So Atkin going to try and grit her teeth for the final 400 metres of this race. And the one who's going to try and chase on after her is Williams. So Williams, really well timed here, is Crowley as well, who's made her way through the field and now starting to move his heart. So Atkins, 40 metres ahead. So they're pegging it back, little bits by bits right here. Williams, and behind her there is Crowley. Atkins comes through with 300 metres to go. About to enter her last time on the back straight. And this 40-metre lead quickly has become 20. So they are starting to pick up Atkin at a serious pace. It's coming at the hands of Williams, and Crowley behind her there too. So she's 5 metres off Williams. Atkin going to have to try and find something really special with 200 metres to go, I think. She's done it from the gun. She launched it out to nearly 80 metres, I think, this lead, and these girls have been able to peg it back. Williams at the helm of that absolute insurmountable task becoming surmountable. So 15 metres ahead now for Atkins. It's burning quickly. Williams has been able to chew her off really well in this final 400 metres of the women's E1500 metres. Atkins with 100 metres to go. Williams behind her. Crowley not going to be able to get there. Atkins going to have to try and pump her arms. Williams on the outside has bided it incredibly well. Maybe a second gear for Atkin. The first time being challenged, and Williams just goes straight on past and salutes this women's E1500. Perfectly executed. 5:14. Atkin 5:15. Crowley 5:18. Wow, that is a beautifully timed race there, Izak.
Perfection.
Perfection. You are not wrong.
Cruise past 20 to go. Took the dub.
Looked good. Looked in control.
If you go to the line, please.
So great running from the girls. You see the rest of our field come through in the women's E1500. So our men's I-1500 on the back track. Oh, look at that. Look at the fast legs of Davies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we need 15.
Looks like we got a West Coast Eagles jumper there.
We do. I'd love to know the number on the back of it. What hip number is that? I can't quite see the hip. We love seeing footy jumpers down at the track, though.
We've seen it Carlton.
Yeah.
We've seen the Eagles
We've
now.
seen him a few times, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've seen him today, though.
Maybe he's saving that up for the 1500.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Honestly, it'd be better doing the 1500 today, even though it's longer. It's cooler, got a bit more shade.
It's actually quite nice right now.
Almost perfect. Just a bit of a breeze.
This is ideal. Absolutely beautiful. I wouldn't expect anything less at Box Hill. Yeah, there are a lot of people coming in here now too.
Missing 4 in this race, I think. Meant to
4?
have 15.
Yeah.
11 out there.
We do have 11. Counted properly. The counting's going through the roof at the moment.
Good athletes, on your marks.
And we are underway here in our men's I-1500 metres. As we said, 11 starters, not 15. Get a rein on them as they make their way around. But I think that's Hill, the looming figure on the outside of Davies of Mornington Peninsula. So Davies leading out Hill. Can try and get a read on our West Coast jersey there on the inside. A throwback West Coast jersey as well. Shalito on the outside too, I think. So Davies, Hill, Shalito, and Hetiarachi, I believe, with the West Coast Eagles jersey on.
Tucked in nicely there.
Yeah, beautifully.
He's
poised.
not going to be copping any of the wind.
Nah,
Perfect
well,
spot.
Hill is about 6'3" and he's about 3'6". So he's going to benefit off it perfectly, I reckon.
It's a good bunch there. About 8 of them.
Yeah, seven
7
or
or
8.
8.
Now let's see.
72, 73, 74,
8.
75,
Well done.
76,
Let's call it 73 as they go through here at the head of Davies, Hill, Hederachi. All tucked in really nice at this front pack. So too is Shalito. So there's a little bit of a break forming, but nothing to be worried about, I wouldn't think. So 134, Davies leading it out. Hill, Hederachi, and Shalito.
Just off the back of that lead pack, got Wolfgang's dad. Sitting at the back there. See if he's got the same wheels.
Senior.
See if he's got the same wheels as Wolfgang.
I reckon he will. Or just Nemesi. Not the
The
contract.
Collingwood colours.
So
But up
Davies,
front, pack of 7 now.
he's dropped off a little bit since you mentioned him. I think he might
Commentators
have
curse.
He might have heard you.
We saw plenty of it in the cricket over the summer now.
sure did.
It's come to Milers Club.
Davies, Hill, Shalito, and on the inside there as well as our Box Hill athlete in Paminger. Hiderachi is also behind them there, still in the mix. So too are our 2 athletes at the back. So 7 athletes through 800 metres, still well and truly in the mix to take out this, the men's I 1500, 2:33 on the clock. Wrap it up like sushi. Put a bow on it, it's that nice through the first 800 metres. Hill, Davies on the outside there is Paminger, Shalito, Hitiarachi starting to drop off a little bit. So Davies on the back of this lead group of 3. We'll call it 4 with Davies on the back too. Hill, Shalito, Paminger. So Paminger can't quite get to the rail. I think he's just about to now. He is. But Shalito's going to have a little bit to say about it. So Paminger, Shalito, Davies, Hill, Hiderachi. All well within the mix. Starting to drop just off the back there of our leaders is going to be Sontang of Williamstown. And tucked in nicely is Gibbs. So Paminger, Shalito, Davies. They're going to be the ones to take you through with 3:29 on the clock, 400 metres to go. Paminger, Shalito, Davies starting to feel the pinch. Hill certainly is. And I think the rest of our pack might just be out of reach to get the win here in the men's I 1500 metres. So Paminger leaning it out, Shalito not too far away. Davies still got a little bit of a sniff at it here. But I'm going to say that it's probably going to be Shalito and Paminger who's going to fight it out. 300 to go, 3:48 on the clock. Don't move, don't blink, you'll miss the rest of this men's I 1500 metres. Paminger got a little bit of a challenge from Shalito on the outside. Going to try and get the rail, I reckon, with 200 metres to go. You don't want to be pushing wide in a 1500 metres. You've already run far enough, don't make it any further. So Shalito gets just there. Doesn't have to slingshot around this final 200 metres. Paminger, he's got the sprinter's hands going. He's ready to launch himself with 150 to go, I think. Izak's so entertained, he can't take his eyes off the screen in front of us. So Shalito going to lead out Paminger. It's certainly a race in 2 with 125 metres to go. Call it 110. Paminger not done with yet. He's almost bided his time. Shalito did a lot of the work to get to the rail. Paminger going to try and move on the outside. Shalito finds his 3rd gear. That might just be his best gear, I think. Put it in drive. Don't put it in the ignition because the car's already started and it's over. Shalito takes it. Paminger 4:40, 4:41 on the clock for both of them. Davies is going to be the one to come to settle for 3rd place. All now. The rest of them roll through, but 4:40, 4:41 to take it out. Hello.
The whole field under 5 minutes. Under 4:55, in fact.
It's a very close field.
It is.
1500.
14 seconds, I think.
Yeah, 14 seconds. Incredibly close field. And on the start line now is our women's D 1500 metres.
We've only got 2 more races until the A races because they're in the middle of the 1500 metre program.
Ah, yes. Okay. This is our dash for cash as well.
It is.
Here we go.
If you on the dash for cash, Mitch, What would you do with it? The money?
How much is it?
$100.
Macca's. Oh, I mean,
$100 on Macca's.
yeah.
It's a few family boxes.
I'd get, for my housemates back home, I'd get us all family boxes.
It's 4 family boxes.
Yep. I'd give one to my neighbour, and then the other 3 would be for us.
How many people in your house?
3.
Having a family box each?
Yeah.
4 burgers,
Or I'd
chips.
give my mate's girlfriend one of them. So then
Still.
all 4 of us could share it together. And we have 2 bathrooms, so we should be okay. We do have our women's D dash for cash, 1,500 metres here. There's meant to be 13 on the line. I can't quite count them. I reckon that's it. Maybe 12, 13?
13.
Hey, everybody wants the cash. Nobody's missing the dash for cash. So here we go. The women's D 1,500 metre. Put on your bet who's going to win the dash for cash. Don't actually bet, but because I bet last time and then I apparently owed somebody another $100, which I never did. I'm going to say it will be Evans. That's my tip. Off no information whatsoever. Let that be known. No information.
You already know that I'm just looking for the super shoes.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think of that. We got any mullets out there?
It's a bit hard to see when they're on the other side of the track from us.
Just going to have to guess who's wearing super shoes. Surely you can tell from the monitor in front of us.
Yeah. I reckon Glenn Huntley athlete. Hip number 9. Ronaldson. It looks like maybe some dragonflies there.
So that's it.
Could be wrong.
Well, I don't know who Ronaldson is, but I certainly know who Donaldson is. So Ronald McDonald and Donaldson have merged together. The Chattamackers, I think, got in your head.
I've seen the R and got confused. R. Donaldson.
Through the first 100, though, I do think Donaldson might be trying to get to the front. I really want to call it Ronaldson, but I won't.
Got 2 Donaldsons in this race, in fact.
Oh, God, so it's going to get more confusing. Well, it's Donaldson leading, both from Glenn Huntley, so I'm going to assume they're sisters. So one of the Donaldson sisters are going to lead us out here. Schultz tucked on, just gone around, not tucked anymore. She's gone right around. So too Hall on the outside there. On the inside, from St. Stephen's Harriers. He's just getting past now is Ostick. Smith, Jackson right behind her there. So the dash for cash is leading them all out. Schultz behind her there is going to be Donaldson. And let's see how the rest of them really make their presence felt. Evans not far away either. Let's see through this 400. What time are we going to have on the clock? 73. Bang. Knew it. So this is Schultz leading us out. So Schultz leading us out.
On track for about a 450.
450. Okay, that's
roughly
moving.
that pace.
That's flying. Schultz still leading us out. Let's say 20. Nah, let's say 15 metres. I'm going to call it 15 metres. So 15 metres ahead. Behind her there is Hall. Not too far away is Jackson. And behind there, coming around the outside now, is Evans. So Schultz leading it out. Hall, Jackson, Evans. There's your top 4 in the women's D 1500 dash for cash.
Hall just in no man's land there. It's hard to know what to do in that position.
They're all a little bit
drop back
stranded,
or
aren't
try
they?
and push up.
Schultz at least has the benefit of being at the front. The one who's in the hardest spot right now is Hall. Evans going to do a little bit of work over this final 800 metres of the women's D 1500 metres dash for cash. The winner gets 100 cold hard dollars. Straight to them, no questions asked. Hand it over, off you go.
Mitch will chuck in an extra 100 as well.
Yep.
Since he didn't give it last, mate.
Yep. If that's what you want, I will do that.
One day he'll actually do it.
Yeah. And I'm going to accumulate it all for one person. So Schultz, Hall, Evans. So let's see how this pans out. Looks like Evans is starting to move a little bit on the outside of Hall, but Schultz has actually started to extend her lead. So 550 metres out. It's still Schultz, Hall, Evans. Dropping back a little bit to Young, I believe it is. But Schultz right now certainly seems pretty comfortable out in front. And as we were saying earlier, Hall probably had it the hardest because she was trying to chase on her own. She's now got the benefit of having Evans, although she's behind her, at least it's a body. And at least she's got something to push her along. And they're going to need to get pushed pretty quickly here if they're going to try and catch Schultz in this dash for cash. So Schultz been leading it for a while. Alexandra Schultz, 3:33 on the clock in the dash for cash. She'd be about 80 seconds away from 100 cold hard dollars in her pocket. Evans on the back here of Hall. Just behind them there is Young. Now coming through is going to be Bartlett. And so too back from there is Jackson. So Schultz still leading it out. Evans now goes around Hall. And not far away is Young. So I'm unsure if Evans is able to catch Schultz. 300 metres to go. She's about 35, 40 metres behind. So it's going to take an absolutely enormous effort, but stranger things have happened. So Schultz still leading it out here with 200 metres to go. Evans pegging it back just ever so slightly, but I think still too far away. 4:14 on the clock for Schultz. She's led it from about 100 metres into the race, so she certainly deserves this $100. Evans now comes through with 200 metres to go. It's about a 40-metre gap. So you would comfortably say that Alexandra Schultz is probably going to take out our women's D 1500 dash for cash. So 100 smackaroos coming for Alexandra Schultz at the end of this women's D 1500 metres. She's done it the hard way, but she's done it on her own. And she certainly deserves not only a PB, but the $100 in her pocket. So well done to Alexandra Schultz. She's going to come down and take it out in this, the women's D 1500 metres. And she's wrapped it up nice and easy. Well done to Alexandra Schultz. Evans still charging down this home straight with a little bit of company. But it's Schultz who takes it out. Evans takes it. Right behind her there is Young. Hall, who did so much of the work early. Bartlett as well comes through. A little bit of a kick down here for some of the women in the D 1500. And the dash for cash. Alexandra Schultz, your winner of the dash for cash. So neither of us got it.
Not good. Not good.
Not good. That is not good.
Have we had a correct prediction so far?
No.
I think I was right about it. Chicago. I said he was a chance of winning.
Yeah.
I did pick Toby.
It was pretty close.
I don't think we've got one.
I think you also said before Ellie ran, if Box Hill's going to get a win here tonight, this is it.
I think everyone was picking Ellie for that one after her last performance.
Yep. I'm trying to pump you up here. I'm trying to show the people that you made a good call. With our men's H or H. I prefer H. 1500 metres. Good to know we're on the same. It's on the same page there.
You can find all the results from this meet on the ASFIC Results Hub. Pretty quick to upload the results.
Yeah, they're flying. So we're meant to have 14 starters, and it looks like a pretty full field. I know I say that before every race, and I'm usually missing a couple, but this one does look pretty full.
Got to back the great man Ranveer Gurja.
Ranveer Gurja.
He was up at Falls training.
Putting in some good work, I hear.
Got to love the pink headband.
Yep.
Iconic.
Actually is iconic. Ranveer Gurja, Box Hill, pink headband. Iconic. You won't find it anywhere else.
You will be
unless he's, I don't know whether he wears it casually, but I'm going to assume he doesn't.
Race specialty.
Can I get you to go wrong direction so that you're not...
I reckon we've got all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes! We do have 14.
I think that's the biggest field of the night so
I think
far.
it is. So all 14 men have rocked up. The men's H, 1500 metres.
James Scholes, and 14 from Glen Huntley, Kane and Rossiter. So 14 starters against H, 1500.
On your marks.
And racing. Look at the photographer. He's just gone bang, straight in lane 4. He doesn't care.
Perfect
He might
lighting
get
for
bulldozed.
JCL.
Great man. A great man.
Lego.
So,
Let's go for it.
Love this bloke. Lego. Yep, I love him. He's got the greatest last name outside of our man in the 800 metres, Ola Renshaw.
Your man.
That's the greatest last name.
Just
But Lego.
Hidgel Kemmer from Glen Huntley.
And who's that in third? Who we got?
He looks eager to go.
Oh, man, he's chomping at
Outside
the
of
bit.
lane 1.
He's one out, one back. That's exactly where you want to be. Ranveer Gurja on the outside of them. So too is going to be in from Melbourne University.
The
So
Jerry
leg
Friends
out.
podcast.
Going to lead us out. I'm not quite sure how to say that name. How did you say it? Izak.
Hidgel Kemmer.
Okay. He's sitting there in second. Ranveer Gurja. And who has a podcast here?
The Jerry and Friends podcast.
Is it a good one?
It's a very good one. We've talked about it before.
I know. But
Some
Also
iconic
the
runners in this
attention span.
race. Lego, Gurja, Jerry.
it doesn't get any better. They would have gone through probably 70 seconds, maybe just under, through the first 400 minutes. So Lego are going to try and stretch him out. Gurja wants all the action, though. He's going to try and wheel him back in on his home track. I know for a fact Ranveer Gurja loves racing at Box Hill.
Loves racing anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah, true. You could race him to the fridge and he'll make it competitive, but particularly Box Hill, he's got a special affiliation. Loves his club. No one loves it more
As everyone
other than
should.
Steve Deneen. Yeah, as everybody should. But right now he's going to have to try and put it on his back because they're going to try and chase down our man Lego, who's leading us out. Gurja. Behind him there is McDermott. And on the inside of him is our man from Glen Huntley, whose name I will 100% get wrong. So Lego, 2:03 through 700 metres. Gurja going to try and lead us through. There's McDermott. So too Izak. He's making his presence felt as well in amongst that pack. So they've spotted Lego about 20 metres through 800 metres. So 2:23 on the clock. Not messing about. Definitely trying to run after a fast time here. And he said, hey, even if I have to do it solo, I'm still going to run fast.
But
If you boys want a piece of it, come and get it.
We've got our first double up of the night. Hipworth, he's back after his 800.
God,
He's racing a 15.
what a legend.
It's tough to do on any night, but when it's 30 degrees,
That takes a special type of person to do that.
feel
Well
guts.
done to you, Hipworth. And I think he almost won his 800.
He was up there.
Yeah. If not, did he win it? He may have. But right now, it's lag up. Still leading us out. 25 metres, Ranveer Gurja putting the rest of the field on his back. He's grit his teeth. Right behind him there is McDermott. And most of the time when you're at the front of this pack, you're trying to like, hey, boys, come around and do some work. But I could honestly say Ranveer Gurja probably doesn't want that, but unfortunately, he's got it. So Lego now going to try and make his presence felt even more. He's got 20 metres behind him there. He's going to try and get his wheel spinning. McDermott, and the man to watch out for, I think, might be Gowlis. So our Mentone boys, Lego leading it out. I reckon we got another one who's going to fly around this pack maybe with 250 metres to go. Let's see how it unfolds. So Lego still leading it out. 3:37 on the clock with 300 metres to go. Let's see how they get moving. McDermott now gets on the shoulder of taps him along and says, let's have an absolute red-hot crack here in the men's H1500 metres. Lego's led it from the gun. Can he take it to the tape? And McDermott, they're the two to probably watch out for. We got two Melbourne University athletes as well. I think that's Gowlis on the outside, and on the inside of him is going to be Nichols. So Nichols going to try and get it moving. I told you, watch out for both the Mentones. Lego still leading it out. Behind him there, McDermott not too far away in third. And now we start to see our other Mentone athlete in Pfizer DiCiero. So Pfizer DiCiero now goes around both of them. So he's happy to move out to lane 3 to get a sniff of Lego. He doesn't just get a sniff, he takes in the whole aroma. So he's going to be the one to move around in McDermott on the outside of our man in Pfizer DiCiero. But DiCiero puts his head to the ground and salutes the crowd as a winner of the men's H1500. A beautifully executed 1500 metres. McDermott for second. Lego comes through for third. Did a lot of that work early. But wow, DiCiero.
Right
That
off 4:30.
is how you run A perfectly paced 1500. Show that as a lesson. If you ever want to run a perfectly paced 1500, watch out for DiCiero. Men's H, 1500 metres here.
Let's see if he's inspired some of the A-race runners coming up.
Well, we got a
Take a note
field,
from his book.
proposed field of 16.
That is the biggest of the night.
Yes,
16.
it was this, and now it's been overtaken, which makes sense because it is an A race.
The men's B 1500 will also be a field of 16. So big numbers here
Wow.
at Milers Club.
Wow. We must be doing our job well. So we want to hear.
We're about to start a race. Can you go away, please?
So our women's A 1500 on the line and ready to roll. 16 athletes. And again, without repeating myself, it looks like we have 16 athletes. I'm just saying it looks like it. It could be wrong. I'm not definitively saying there is. Yeah, but they've gone missing. I'm telling you. It's come up with like 11 and then 9 rock up. And my brain goes into overdrive. Oh, we got Melissa Duncan pacemaking as well after the women's A 800. She's going to come back and do a bit of a job here for the women's A 1500.
We haven't seen much pacing this Milers Club season.
There's someone in the way.
16 there.
Yeah, we got 16? Okay, beautiful. Yeah, they used to offer incentives for pacemaking. And so I don't know when they stopped doing that. Yeah, they gave out like shirts and singlets, or they pay you and whatever a couple of years ago. But obviously they might not be doing that anymore. So now it comes out of the goodness of your heart. So obviously Melissa has got a good heart.
It's a good workout.
It is.
Paced a few.
Well, the famous supplier of pacemakers was actually Steve Ellinghaus. Used to send heaps of people out there to do sessions as pacemakers.
I've done one meet, I think.
Yep.
Paced some 5Ks at 5K champs and paced at Milers.
That's right.
Thank you, everyone. And in words of Gail, lovely here. We're in the start of hand.
So a minute silence there for one of the greater officials Athletics Victoria's had, Gail Anderson, sadly passed away through the week. So great initiative there from the Victorian Milers Club. I'm sure a lot of people who have competed remember Gail. Always at the state championships, country champs, relays, AV, everything. So right before our women's A 1500, all 16 and change because Melissa Duncan's pacemaking. So 17 on the line. That would have really rattled my head. So I wonder how many of these athletes have had COVID and are getting over it, because it takes a little bit out of you. Or I'm just soft, which
Maybe.
it also could be that.
Who knows?
Yeah, it could be that.
If you had kept running, kept the body in a perfect shape, you would have been able to fight
I wouldn't have ever felt it.
Exactly.
It would have just
Run straight through it.
Yep. Water off a duck's back it would have been. And we are underway here in the women's A 1500 metres. And let's see who gets to the start first. Well, you know what? They all got to the start first because they've started the race. So let's see who gets to the lead first. Hopefully it's the pacemaker. She's got a little bit of work to do because Winwood on the inside is going to make her work for it. So 14 seconds through the first 100 metres here in the women's A 1500. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting to read out the names of all 16 as we get going. But I can tell you who's leading it. It's Melissa Duncan. Behind her there may be Green. It is. So Green behind her. On the inside there is also Winwood, and on the outside there is Claudia Hollingsworth. So certainly one to watch out for in Hollingsworth, one of the younger athletes in the race, but one of the better experienced racers already at a young age. So definitely watch out for her. Sudholes as well is a name to be familiar with. But Melissa Duncan going to lead out Green. 48 seconds through the first 300 metres. So Hollingsworth, Green not messing about. Winwood behind her there. So too is going to be Sudholes. And the rest of this field is going to work its way out over the first 400 metres. Well, Melissa Duncan certainly setting it up to be an absolute blinder. So strap in because this race is only going to get more exciting. Melissa Duncan 68 seconds through the first 400 metres. And look at Hollingsworth just 2 back from Melissa Duncan, looking incredibly strong. In front of her is going to be Green. Still trying to chase back the pack is going to be Winwood. So they make their way through, let's call it 15 metres ahead of this next pack. Lucinda Rourke in there as well. So too is Dixon. Maddie Caulfield now trying to peg back this third pack to the second one. But out in front, 20 metres ahead, Hollingsworth Green being led out by Melissa Duncan, an Australian representative in her own right. So Melissa Duncan going to lead him out. Green behind her. Hollingsworth now just goes on the shoulder of Green, so she's going to nudge her along a little bit here. We're going to get to 700 metres when we come past the start-finish line. Green working really well there. 1:56 on the clock through 700. Hollingsworth right behind there too. Winwood still going to try and lead through this second pack of about 7 women. Behind her there is still Sudholt, and right at the back of it is Hogan. But as we turn our attention to the front of the race, 800 metres have been knocked off. And it's going to be knocked off in a time of 2:13. So Green, Hollingsworth, I reckon, just watch out for her. She's in this poised position to absolutely launch, I reckon. So Duncan starts to make her way out. The courtesy call of saying, hey, I reckon I'm done here. It's time for you women to get absolutely moving. Green is going to start to pump the arms. Hollingsworth behind her there. 600 metres to go, 2:31. So they are moving. My mathematician to my right here is going to work out what pace they're on for, because I certainly can't do it with a head filled with excitement. So let me catch my breath because the last 150 is going to go by with a blink. Green on the outside of her, Hollingsworth. Let's call it 60 metres back now to the chase pack.
On track
we'll try and get a read on who it is. 420?
412.
412. So 412 for a 2022 season opener. Hollingsworth right on the shoulder of Green, so she'll be feeling the pinch now. Claudia Hollingsworth just starts to show her class. 3:04, here we go now. It might be the Claudia Hollingsworth show. So Hollingsworth now goes straight around Green. She's going to try and snap this elastic band, but it's going to be a little bit of hard work because Green, a tough competitor, stays right on the heels of her. So coming through now is Sudholes. Now too is going to be Vincent. Behind her is Winwood. 300 metres to go. Claudia Hollingsworth starting to stretch it a little bit. Green now going to the arms. Let's see whether or not she can hold on. 5 metres back, 250 metres to go. Hollingsworth is going to try and stretch out Green. Did a lot of the work behind the pacemaker of Duncan. 3:37 on the clock. Geez, it looks like Hollingsworth almost has another gear. She's starting to stretch that 5 metres, make it 10:15. Hell, I might even call it 20 by the time the race is over. Green not done with yet, though, I think. Here comes Hollingsworth like a steam train around this last 120 metres. Just starts to arch the back and accelerate away a little bit here, and it's going to be Claudia Hollingsworth. Geez, this is some class running here in the women's A 1500 metres. Hasn't even looking like she's broken a sweat just yet, Claudia Hollingsworth. Goes down to the line with absolute pace and determination. Claudia Hollingsworth turns the fable into a fairy tale. 4:11. Jeez. What a way to open your 2022. 4:16 for a gutsy effort from Green there. And it's Lucinda Rourke who's emerged from the pack. She's going to come down and greet it at about 4:25, I think. So 4:25 it is. Sudholes did a lot of the work early as the rest of this field makes their presence felt. You see it tick over 4:32. And we have 100 metres to go until this women's A 1500 metres is complete. And that is tough racing. I know that the weather's changed. It's a little bit cooler. The breeze is starting to sweep through, but it's still warm. It's still sticky. And great racing here in our women's A 1500 metres. But Claudia Hollingsworth, just a class above in the end, Izak. found the gear when she needed to find it and executed the race to perfection.
Very impressive running. A strong last lap as well for already quick pace.
Just
Not
looks
easy to
smooth.
do.
So great running by all women there. But Claudia Hollingsworth gets the win.
How are you? Great. Hey, man, listen to your podcast. Oh, thank you. Oh, what race are you in? See. Can't wait. I can't wait.
Maybe the most handsome man at the track, Will Lindsay, just ran past. I got a little nervous, I'll be honest. Known him for a long time. Looks phenomenal. So our men's A1500. We've got a few boys stepping up. Brad Mathis over the 1500 metre, a notorious 800 metre New
gotta be the
Zealand
favourite,
national
though.
champion.
Yeah.
Brad Mathis from that rising TC. Is he rising or is he fast 8?
Fast 8.
Fast 8. So Thomas Diamond has the World Junior qualifier.
He's a fit man.
Very fit man.
In
Was he up
shape.
at Falls Creek?
He was.
Okay.
Training incredibly well with the top dogs, the elites.
There we go.
Dropped a 240-something kilometre rep at altitude. At the end
Yeah,
of the
that is fit.
Not bad.
We've got a few good names in here. Adam Pike, Willie Lewis, good to see him back out there. Saw him race the last one.
Pretty much everyone here was at Falls Creek.
Nath Nation, Felix Lonigan. Archie Noakes, coached by Charlotte Wilson. Love throwing that out there. Been coaching Archie for a long time, has Charlotte Wilson.
The 3K, 5K man stepping down.
He's an absolute weapon. I couldn't believe that he was a junior. I almost fell off my chair. I don't know who cut Nath Nation's hair, but they might want to call the lawnmower and tell him to come back and finish the job. Because that is
Harsh.
disgusting. That is disgusting. But it's very Nath. Doug Buckerich on the outside.
One interstate runner, Dan Kelly from Run Crew up in New South Wales.
Is that a Betty
Living in
St.
Falls
Lawrence?
Creek for a bit.
Really?
Until he goes over to the US, I believe.
Oh, so he's going back to Falls Creek after this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Home for a few months.
Few months. Wowee. And where's he going in the US?
Not too sure, honestly.
So he's one to watch out for.
Thank you. On your marks.
So we are underway here in the men's A 1500 metres. Let's see who can get out the fastest.
Tommy Diamond didn't want to get boxed in lane 1 and he's gone for it.
No, he's certainly let it fly, isn't he? Here's Archie Noakes as well. And the man, Brad Mathis. Adam Pike towards the front. Will Lewis on the outside there. Doug Buckeridge. Also got our man Kelly, who you mentioned is living at Falls Creek. So there you go. That's certainly
It's
a
the
different
dream.
approach.
Every runner's dream.
Every runner's dream. Well, Thomas Diamond,
Not messing around.
no, he wants it
Sub 30
fast.
First 200.
He'll be wanting another World Junior qualifier, you would think. You want as many of those as you can possibly get. And the faster, the better, obviously. So Mathis behind him, Noakes, Pike, Buckeridge, Kelly,
45 through 300.
Lonigan, Lewis, Pearce, and at the back there is Hadfield. Riley Hadfield, I believe.
Reese Hadfield.
Reese! Hey,
Big from Reese in the A race.
I believe wrong.
He's been training well. But up front, about 60 seconds on the dot through 400 for Tom Diamond.
So 3:45 pace.
Yeah. Mathis, he's got the 800 speed, so all he needs to do is just sit there, and he should have the kick at the end if he can hang on.
Oh, and he looks smooth too, doesn't he?
He does.
So does Noakes, though. I can never take my eyes off Archie Noakes.
This would
Pike.
be big from Noakes if he can hang on here. His PB's a 354, but he's got that 3K, 5K strength, so you think if he goes out hard, he can just hang on.
Well, he's an 8:11 or 8:09. I can't remember which one of the two he was.
809.
8:09 3K
Not bad.
runner. So there you go. I'd certainly say he has the ability to hold on if he can stay in there. So your boy Diamond leading out Mathis. Danger man in the orange singlet there is Adam Pike. He certainly knows how to run over this distance. Noakes ahead of him, Buckeridge behind him. Kelly, Lonergan, Lewis, Pearce.
Conza in there as well.
Yep, DeConza. Luca DeConza.
Never count out Doug Buckeridge. He
So they've
has
slowed
an
it-
insane kick.
slowed
so
it a little bit. Has Diamond. He's got a good kick.
He does.
Yeah.
All these boys honestly have pretty good kicks.
I'd say Brad Mathis, followed closely by Adam Pike, who you can see in the orange
Fastest
singlet.
800 runners. And Matt Scott's moving up as well.
Yep. Oh, Scott's in here too.
3 national finalists.
Good.
Obviously Mathis over in New Zealand.
Here we go. Well, Brad Mathis now takes the lead. So if you want it to be a kicker's race with 600 metres to go, that's exactly what you've got. Diamond needs to hang tough. Obviously, he's got the wheels. Here comes Buckeridge too. So Buckeridge gets on the outside of training mate Diamond, who might be starting to feel the pinch a little bit. But Dougie Buckeridge now wants to get moving. So Buckeridge comes right on the shoulder of Pike. Mathis looks totally comfortable and in control at the front here. Buckeridge going to go wide. He wants it. He doesn't want to be running wide with 400 metres to go. Look at the grimace on Noakes. Let's call it 250. So let's get it moving here. If they can drop the hammer, they can get another World Junior qualifier for some of the boys at the front here. Brad Mathis, he's going to try and spin his wheels and let them know what the authority is. Pike behind him there, Buckeridge, Diamond, Noakes. I would think Scott might be a little bit off the pace to try and make a charge for it. Mathis, here comes the class of the field. 3:06, I think, as he went through with 300 metres to go. So Mathis is right there. Pike going to have to try and get a little bit of movement going. Noakes still right in there as well. Mathis starts to extend. Pike, Buckeridge, Noakes. I think Diamond might just be out of it here, Izak. You're so locked into it. We'll try and call it home. Brad Mathis now with 120 to go. The class of the field, as I've mentioned a few times, starts to extend away a little bit further. 3:32 on the clock as he went through. Buckeridge trying to chase down Pike. Noakes on the outside of him. It's going to be Brad Mathis, though, who takes out our men's A. 1,500 metres in class and in style. 3:44. He's dropped a 55-second last lap. 47-48. Oh, my Lord. Nathan Pearce comes through too. Willie Lewis at 350, 351. Noakes, I think, has just dropped at 349. I think. He's looking at me in the eyes as well, so I hope I've got that right. But that was phenomenal. Brad Mathis at 55-second last lap. You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
Men's B.
How are you, Claudia? Good. So I'm just going to ask you very...
You're arrangers.
Very impressive running there from all the men in that field. Mathis just showed his class, showed his 800 speed there towards the end. Just broke away from the field and was too strong. And the juniors, Noakes, Buckeridge, Diamond, all came through strong. A lot of juniors in that race, so very good running there from the whole field.
Okay, so we have the winner of our women's A 1,500 metres here, Claudia Hollingsworth. Claudia, great race. Walk us through it. What was the tactic going into it?
I just thought I'd get out hard and then sit about third, second behind the pacer, and just stay at a steady pace, and then just try kick from between like 500 out, and then decide to go a bit later about the 400 because a bit hard coming into the wind, and then just went from there pretty much.
Yeah, you looked in total control. As soon as you hit that bell lap, you made your move, you went right around.
Yeah.
You looked incredibly comfortable. Have you been doing any training up at Falls Creek, or have you stayed in Melbourne?
No,
What's it look
I've
like?
actually been over in Adelaide for a bit of a holiday. Got
Yep.
family over there, but been still training hard there. Didn't go up to Falls, but just been training hard in Melbourne and Adelaide, which has been really
Awesome.
good.
And where are we going to see you next? You got a few races lined up, or what does it look like for you?
I think I'll definitely enter into the Zatopek, which is next Wednesday, and then just do a few more Vic Milers leading into states and see how that goes. Yep.
Awesome. Well, Claudia, you did such a great job.
Thank you
great
so much.
race. Good win in
Thank
the
you.
women's A 1,500. Can't wait to see you race.
Thanks so much. See you.
Thanks, Claudia. Thank you. So our men's B, 1,500 on the line here. Let's get the start list. Ooh, 16. Oh boy. And the pacemaker, who I don't know who that is.
Yeah, they are. They're looking this way.
But we have 16 men lined up here.
My hand.
I reckon you got 2 brothers. Doesn't matter, we'll work it out as we go along. So we're underway here in the men's B 1500 metres. Our pacemaker's going to do a little bit of work to get around. Oh, I think that's, can't remember his name, runs for Casey Cardinia though. Yep, it's escaped us. It's escaped all of us here, but that's okay, we'll work it out. The pacemaker's gone through in 15 seconds. So he's going to try and pace him out for a 3:45, which we absolutely love. So let's see him tuck in behind there. It's our Keele, Lawson, Bernard's boys tucked in nicely behind the pace. And I believe that's Bell in one of them. And Matthews is the other. So David Grieg as well on the outside, making his presence felt as Debuisson. 45 seconds through the first 300 metres, so certainly not mucking around. Bell going to tuck right in behind Lockie Hurd. There it is. I knew the name would come back to me. Lockie Hurd is going to lead us out. Bell behind him there. On the inside of him is Matthews and Grieg behind. So 61-62, we hear the pace caller call out. So beautifully timed here by Hurd. Behind him there is Bell. Grieg just tucked in nicely too, and so is Matthews. So Matthews, Bell, Grieg. And I believe that's Russell of Old Zavarians, not too far away. So certainly getting after it here in the men's B 1500 metres. You saw a stellar women's A and men's A 1500 metres. The first one taken out by Claudia Hollingsworth, our next one taken out by Brad Mathis. So it'll be interesting to see who can take out this men's B 1500. It is Lockie Hurd still leading them out. And behind him there is still Bell. So Bell, Grieg just gone around Matthews. Debuisson behind him there. So too is going to be Russell. On the outside of Russell is Langdon. So Bell, Grieg, Matthews, all behind Hurd. And Debuisson just tucked on the back of them there. So let's see whether or not Langdon can touch them back. I think he will. He's looking beautiful here, Lockie Hurd. Just steps off with class. Just said, hey boys, I'm done. 2:05. That's all you get from me. I hope you can make it work from here. So now we're going to start to see it really crank up from the back of the field. Let's see who gets moving. Watch out for Sammy Albiston, I think, from Mentone on the outside there. David Grieg did a lot of time up at Falls Creek as well. I think a few of these boys all have. So let's see how they get after it. It's still Bell. He's been tucked in behind Hurd for a little while now. Grieg going to be the one to try and bring this pack back to him. So Grieg going to try and bring him back. Matthews behind him. I said watch out for him. And here's Langdon. On the outside of Langdon is going to be our man from Yarra Valley.
Harry Norman.
Harry Norman.
Got a lethal kick.
Here he goes. Harry Norman. You've talked about him before, Izak. Albiston's going to try and get a run on the inside. Grieg starting to feel the pinch. Matthews going to try and bring back Bell. 2:51. Bell. Matthews. On the outside of him is going to be Bunnage. Grieg, Norman. We got a little bit of a check there. We got it absolutely ruined for our man Griffiths. So Griffiths now starting to drop off. Bell still leading out Matthews. Albiston not too far away. Grieg, so too is going to be the fast kick of Norman. So Norman just tucked in nicely. Dunsmore not too far away either. He's regained his feet here, has Griffiths. He got checked back a little bit earlier, but now he's finding his way around. Not one, not two, let's call it 4 athletes. 200 metres to go, 3:23 on the clock. We saw Matthews do a lot of the work. The man who did the most of it, though, was Bell. So Matthews goes around his compatriot. Here comes Norman. You told us all about the kick, and it's on display right now with 1:20 to go. So Norman got a little bit of work to do. He's going to have a challenge here. I think it's going to come at the hands of our Mornington Peninsula athletes. So Norman going to try and work away. He got checked with 400 metres to go, Griffiths, and I think that's going to cost him. So Norman's going to take it out with a 3:52, 3:53, 3:54. They're all going to come through. Count the seconds. You can count the athletes at this rate. And Albiston comes through now. Portwood toward the back here as we see out our men's B 1500 metres. Well done, Brad. So great racing from our men's B 1500. And as we say that, great racing came in our men's A 1500 with Brad Mathers. So we're here with Brad Mathers now, as I said, the winner of the men's A 1500. Brad, you looked in total control throughout that entire 1500. Run us through it. What was going through your mind? What was the plan?
Yeah, going into it, my coach, Justin Rinaldi, said to just sit in. He said, don't lead until you absolutely have to. We went through 800 and I kind of felt like the guys were coming up on me, so I thought, you know, I'll take the lead and then just sort of wind it up from there. and yeah, ended up paying off. So
I was going to say, if there was a man in the race to back his kick, we were saying that it was both you and Adam Pike. Yeah. You both got to the front at a certain point. Yeah. I think you've run a 55-second last 400 metres, notoriously an 800-metre runner. Has that helped you in the later stage of this 1500?
Yeah, of course. I mean, training's been going really well, so like I'm not that surprised. I think I was ready for a quicker time if we had it went out a bit quicker. So to close in 55 is obviously pretty good. So it means that I'm set up well for the season ahead. So.
Yeah. Hey, you look natural over the 1500, but where are we going to see you? Is it 800s? Where are you racing? What's it looking like for the rest of the
year? Yeah, obviously a bit too big for 1500, a bit bigger than the other guys. But yeah, so next race will be 800. Still just trying to work it out. Probably Adelaide in a couple of weeks. So yeah, just get back into training and then head up to 800.
Beautiful. Well, Brad, well done. Congratulations on taking out the A1500.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks.
Got the women's B 1500 metres up here, 13 competitors. Can't quite see how many we've actually got on the start line. Does look like we have a pacemaker on the outside there as well, so hopefully we can get some PBs in this race. I think this is our third or fourth pacer of the night. Haven't seen too many, but when we have seen them, we've seen plenty of quick times.
Thanks, ladies. We're about to go. On your marks.
So off and racing in this women's B 1500 metres. Everyone's gone out at a pretty even pace. The pacemaker's going to go to the front. Then it looks like we've got Rhodes from Geelong Guild sliding into the lead behind the pacer, and Sophie Coltish in second. But already it's bunched up. Bit of a gap between the field and the pacemaker, so no one really wants to be right behind the pacemaker on her heels. But as I say that, the Western A's athlete is going to move into the lead. So it looks like that's Mackerel. Sitting behind her is Jason, invitational athlete, and then Gerardy in third there. So strung out a bit more now, a bit packed towards the back of the pack. But everyone's got enough room to be running nicely here. So the pacemaker's doing her job well. Spread the field out, and everyone's just happy to sit behind. Should come up to the 400 metres here. Looks like they're going to go through in about 70, 71. So they're moving nicely, on track for sub 430, which would, I'm sure, be a PB for a lot of these girls. So still Mackerel out front, and then Jason behind her, and Gerardy in third. The Bendigo athlete there in row, sitting in fourth, just trying to attach herself to that pack as we see these two front runners move away with the pacemaker. As it comes through 600 metres here in about 1:48, so bang on 3-minute pace, which is on track for a 4:30. So we can see some packs starting to open up here. It looks like Gerardy and Rowe are going to be in no man's land here. Got about 10 metres on the people in front of them and behind them. And we can see these lead three just splitting up a bit. The pacemaker doing her job well, trying to keep them on an even pace. Mackerel's just going to have to hold on. So too Jason. She doesn't want to end up in no man's land. as they come through the 800 metres here in about 2:24, 2:25. So that's about a 73, 74 lap there. So that's all right, a 3-second difference between the first and second lap. It's not too bad in the 1500 metres. Just got to try and hang on here as the field is well and truly spread out. You can see gaps everywhere in this field, but hopefully they can use that to their advantage and try and pick off the person in front of them as they come into the last 600 metres of this race. So everyone's moving nicely. No one's really out of it. We've seen some big comebacks so far this meet, so anyone can come from anywhere. Just constant 5-metre gaps between each athlete, it looks like. So as they come through the K, 3:05, so they have slowed a bit, but Mackerel, she's looking strong. Jason's behind her. And then it looks like Baker coming in third there. So these three are probably the three favourites. Rowe and Jarity are going to have to continue to move through this field if they want to get in on the podium. But it's all Mackerel out front. She's got about 5 metres on Jason, who's got a couple of metres on Baker. So Baker's been moving well. In fact, that's O'Brien. O'Brien, who's moving through the field as they go through 1200 in about 3:42, 3:43. O'Brien from Wellington really starting to get a move on here. She's going to challenge Mackerel from Western Asia. She's led it from gun to tape. She's done the hard work, had to sit behind the pacer and just stick in when the pacer stepped off. But it looks like it's going to be O'Brien who's, well, no, as I say that, Mackerel, she's found another gear. And geez, she's really started to wind it up. 150 to go. She's going to kick away from O'Brien. O'Brien had to work hard to catch up, and it looks like she's just spent some energy there as Mackerel's going to kick away from the field with 100 to go. O'Brien's going to have to settle for second, and Jason's going to get third. But it's old Mackerel from Western A's out front. She's going to take the win just over 4:30. She's finished strong, 4:34. Then O'Brien, and then looks like Jason for third as the rest of the field comes through. Starting to get dark here at Box Hill. Got the spotlight on the finish line as the women's B race comes across the finish line. So some fast running there. Everyone under 4:48.
That was a good finish.
Interesting one. Bit of back and forth there towards the end. Thought O'Brien was going to storm over the top, but Mackerel wasn't going to let her have it.
Biggest field of the night.
Coming up, 17.
Hold on. Before I say that, I just want to 16, 13, 16, 16, 7. We got 2 at 17. Okay. So we move on to the men's C. 1500. Great race call there by Izak. Sometimes just got to let the apprentice get on the tools, you know? Got to let him have a crack. Keep in mind, everyone, Izak's only 17, and he's already talking better than Mick and I. So that's good for our job security. Saying he's only 17, already talks better than Mick and I. So talking to our,
I don't know.
boss here. So
I think you've still got me covered, Mitch.
Him shaking his head at that doesn't fill me with any confidence.
I'm excited for some of these boys in this race. Most notably the Queenslander from Bert's squad, which was recently voted Australia's favourite squad. Matt Hansen, YouTube sensation.
Voted?
He's eclipsed me.
No, won't have that.
Triple the subscribers, I think.
That's pretty impressive.
Gentlemen, on your mark.
He's Dynasty family in Victoria, and why not have a race at Milers Club?
That's it. Why not have a ping at it?
Number
We've got
one.
hip number 1, so he's going to do a little bit of work. Lockie Hurt, we've got double paces. Lockie Hurt
You'll love to see it.
and Co. So here we go. Let's see how they work themselves out. Callum Buddha Drake at the back there as well. Good to see Bud's back. So we got both of our pacemakers have made their way to the front, which is the most encouraging part because a lot of the time they don't quite get there. So Lockie Herb just going through the motions out in front there.
Harrison Boyd sitting in the lead of the real race behind the paces.
Is that
Luke Young on his shoulder?
Is it Boyd?
It is Harrison Boyd.
Harrison
up
Boyd.
Training with the Bendigo Bats in Falls Creek.
On the inside of him is Doss as well, or Does, I should say. And on the outside, Got some Mornington Peninsula athletes, but there's 2 of them. So I'll tell you what, I reckon I got it here.
It's Kai Davies.
Yes, Kai Davies. Beat me to it. 63 seconds as we come through the first 400 metres, and it is beautifully strung out. There's 19 blokes on the track. 17 plus the 2 pacemakers. 17 plus 2 equals 19. 19 blokes on the track. Maths. Smart. Stocks. Okay. 2 pacemakers rolling through 577 seconds on the clock. Let's see how they get moving here. So as you mentioned, it is Young leading out Boyd.
These boys will be hoping to go under 4 minutes. That's what Matt Hansen was telling me pre-race. I definitely reckon a few of these boys can do it. Brad Hole is one to look out for. He's a quick man. Been running PBs left, right and centre over the last 12 months. And he's just sitting about 5th in the league, in the real race behind the paces.
Yeah, don't get confused with the red singlets at the front. These are our 2 pacemakers. So, Young, Boyd, Davies. Right behind him is Does. But honestly, you could pick them out of a bunch at this rate. They're all strung out beautifully. If you get the right race for you, you can launch from wherever it is you want to launch from. So there we go. Lockie Hurd steps off. 2:06 on the clock. So certainly getting after it. Like, they're well under 4 minute, 1500 pace.
I reckon they can hang on as well.
Yeah.
Luke Young's got a very quick 800, so could see a fast finish here. Harrison Boyd, he's more of a 3K cross-country man, so he'll also have strength towards the end. So
we're starting to strig out a little bit.
We are.
Cal Butter Drake comes through with 600 metres to go there. So let's see how they get moving. The pacemaker must be coming through with 400 metres to go. I'm assuming. I'm just making that assumption. Moves out. Classy gesture. So here comes Young. Inside of him is Boyd. On the inside of that is Does. And now starting to move around is Lovett. So here we go. 2:53 on the clock. So well within the realm of possibility of going under 4 minutes here. Young and Boyd. The pacemaker's just drifted out beautifully off the bend there, but it is all Young. He's blown it out of the water. 300 metres to go. 3:09. Geez, he might even go close to a minute for this last lap. So we were talking about just breaking 4 minutes. Let's maybe start the conversation about breaking 3:56.
I think he's run sub 150 for 800.
Well,
he's showing those wheels here, just like Brad Mathis in the A race.
Well,
he has blown apart his field.
3:20.
3:30 with 150 to go. This
so
is going to be something
he
very
could run
quick.
250.
Starting to tie up a bit.
3:53, I reckon. 3:37 as he's gone through here. So he could get right on the 3:53. I think he's going to dip at about 3:54. I reckon.
See the lactic just
so 49
him here.
50, 51
in a C race. Not bad.
3:51.
57 for Boyd and Hole. Does as well, I think, went under 4.
Yep.
Hansen, he made the trip from Queensland worth it. About a 4:03. Ben Ludbrook as well there. The man from the running company, Ballarat. Sure, he would have put a lot of shoes on feet from athletes tonight.
3:51. He came through. I swear 250 something.
52.
Yeah. 3.
So he's gone sub 60 for sure.
57 second last lap.
And I reckon that 200 from 400 to go to 200 to go.
It's the faster one.
Would have been about 27. He sent it.
Wait, that's a 1500 metre runner. If I've ever seen one. You can't be doing that as an 800 metre runner. Like, you are a 1500 metre runner if you're dropping a 27 within the last 400 metres of your race.
Reminded me of my Milers Club 1500 from, I think, last season, when I hit the bell and just sent it, tied up, almost got caught by Josh McLeod in the last 50. I hung on, not as well as Luke Young did just then. So he was probably the smarter version of what I tried to do.
It's a hard way to run, though.
It is. You think you're good at a bell.
Yeah.
And then 100 to go.
The bell
you hear
and
the crowd getting nervous.
The last lap are hard. It's a long way. You're either relieved to hear the bell or you're just in the hurt locker so bad that the last thing you ever want to hear is that bloody bell. So 16 but 17 on the track. If they're all there, that is. We've got a few good names out here, though. In our men's D 1500.
Only 5 to go tonight 5 races. It's gone by quickly. I think it's because everyone's running quicker than expected.
Because, no.
Don't think we expected a 350 in the C race.
It's because, I'll tell you why. It's because time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly.
That's exactly why.
Don't think time flies when you're in the hurt locker in that last lap. We'll see how these words go here in the men's D race.
I'd almost argue time stops.
It does.
During that period.
It does. That last 100 feels like an eternity. It feels as long as the rest of the race. And Lucky Herd, once again, pacing. They've gone out quickly.
Actually floats this bit.
He does.
He just looks that good.
Lucky Herd needs to bring back the Lachlan Herd YouTube channel.
Did he have one?
He did. The best intro on YouTube as well.
Oh, bring it back.
He should. But anyway, he's bringing the pacing vest back. He's out front. Harvey Anderson behind him.
Good me go. Catterson behind him. Mitch Thompson.
Logan Tickle on the outside. And Matt Venner, the new Dragonflies.
Yep.
Hudson Bucci and Jaden Padgham tucked in there.
A lot of names up and around there.
A lot of names.
But you know most of them here, so I'm going to take a back seat and you let it ride. They've gone through 62.
Jeez. The class has just stepped up at these Milers clubs.
It really has. Like, I feel like you used to see 62s in the B race.
I ran a 4:04 in the D race.
There you go.
They're on track for well under 4 minutes.
Well, Mitch Thompson's a class runner. So if he's within a sniff, the Bosnian beast, he'll give it a red hot crack.
Well, plenty of state and national medalists here. Matt Venner's won a state medal, state title. Padgham's won a few national titles. Mornane's won some state titles. I think Logan Tickle has as well.
Yep, Tickle has. Matty Venner tucked in back there.
He's got a good kick. He's there at the end. We'll have to watch out.
So Herd just still floating.
Doing
like
it easy.
Literally floating. Harvey Anderson still at the front of the pack, chasing down our pacemaker. He'll step off, I think about here is where he's been doing it, at the 800 metre mark. So 2:0, yeah, let's call it 2:09.
He's had a solid workout.
Yeah, he's done 2:06, 2:09. I think he was like low.
He's gone backwards of what you would want to do in a workout.
Yeah.
Go out slower and pick it up. He's done the opposite, the hard way.
He's gone
out hard
and then
with
slow.
the A races and then just tried to hang on.
Well,
he's done a good job because they're on
now
pace
that he
here.
stepped off, Mitch Thompson's decided.
Mitch Thompson's the pacemaker now.
Yeah.
But will we see the win?
He's going to push
from
him. He's pushing him here. Tickell on the outside. Harvey Anderson still trying to get a lot of it if he can.
Jaden Padgham is a steeplechase national champion, so he's got strength. If you can run a steeple, you've got to be able to fight through lactic, and he's sitting in about 4th or 5th there on the outside, ready to go. Ben Mornane, a 3K runner, state medalist in the 3K.
I can have a gaze at Scott here as well. He's going to have a crack. 400 metres, 3:01. Let's see whether or not they can get it. There he is, Scott. As we mentioned, Catterson just took a tumble on the inside of the track. Thompson still leading it out. Let's see what Tickell can do, and so too is going to be
Nicholas Martin on the outside from Knox.
So Scott, Thompson got the grimace on his face. I'm not quite sure whether he's got the legs in him. Padgham on the outside now. He's going to try and make his presence felt. Catterson took a little bit of a hit from the rail, but now he's going to try and bounce back on it. So we got Scott leading it out. 200 metres to go, 3:31. So he's dropped to 31 second there for the next 200 metres. Let's see if he can get moving here, Catterson. He was almost taken out of the race, but now he's going to move. Padgham behind him there. Let's see what these boys can do. It's a race in 3. Although, as I say that, I think Scott might just be starting to feel the pinch of the pressure of the 1,500 metres. So 100 metres to go. Catterson leading it out. Padgham behind him there. He goes straight to the arms. Catterson going straight to the heart. Let's see what we can get here in the final 50 metres of the race. It's going to be Catterson on the inside. Padgham on the outside. And there it is. It's Catterson, 4:03, a 63-second last 400 metres. That's moving. Mitch Thompson for 4:07. So see the rest of our men come through now. And it's not too spread out. 4:15, we await one more Scott Benedict to come through. And that'll be at about a 4:23. 4:24. So good racing from all the boys there. Catterson just found another leg. We have 4 races remaining, and this is our last of our women's 1,500 metres coming up, our C event. And we are smack bang on time, which is rare for an athletics meet, I feel like.
Milers Club does well.
They
It's usually the sprinters and the hurdlers that hold us back at the state champs and on the other meets.
Hey, can't trust them.
Can't trust them.
Can't trust them. No. You're all good people. They can't trust you to stay on time.
You know what we've never had at a Milers, as far as I am concerned?
Yeah.
Never had a steeple. They have the 3K.
Yeah.
They don't have steeples.
Yeah. We've had one at like Box Hill Classic, but no, I don't think at the Milers. Or in my time, haven't seen one.
Interesting.
Are
Maybe
you
that'll be an
pitching for
addition
it?
next season. Oh, I mean, personally, I don't do the steeple. I'd like to give one a try, but maybe at a Shield where it's a bit more low-key.
No, put it all
don't
on
want
display.
to see me stumbling over the hurdles live streamed on YouTube.
Maybe that'll be
the
what
whole
I
of
come
us
back
exclusive
and
to see.
run. I might do the steeple only if you do it.
Jeez. I'm not sure how I'll go. I'll have to see the height of the
weight
steeple
of me
first.
coming back to running in your hands, and you go, ugh. Don't know about that.
Depends how tall the steeple is. We'll see.
Full height.
Looking over at that one.
Yeah.
Is that it?
You're taller than me. You're my height.
Jumping over 4 or 5 of them a lap.
Yeah, it's hard.
So I think I'd have to do 3K for my age.
Yeah.
You would have to.
I'd have to.
Yeah.
We'd be in the same. We'd be in the same
Jeez.
league.
On your mark.
It's tough.
You're taller than me. Anyway, we can talk about this later because the women's C 1500 metres is underway. We've got a pacemaker on the outside. I have a feeling I've seen run the 1500 or the 800 metres earlier in the night. So
She's paced already.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
That's the
That's
B
where I've
race.
seen it. Going out in 16. Oh, here we go. How's this? Steve Deneen, the Oracle. I never call him that. Don't let him get a big head over that. I call him the Fossil. But the Fossil sent me a text. Milers had a steeple 4 or 5 years ago at Lakeside.
Really?
There you go.
Good to know.
Thank you very much, Foss. I appreciate that deeply.
Bring it back so Mitch
Bring it
gets
back.
into the Milers.
Yeah. Don't get excited about that, Steve. Okay.
To the race.
Our women's C 1500 is well
We've
and
got
truly
males
underway.
leading the field. Vickery on her shoulder there. Another Mentone singlet. Plenty of them tonight.
There's been heaps, hasn't there? It's Rager behind him as well. Andrea De Jong coming back from injury. Just sitting at the back of this women's C 1500. So, yep, here we go. 76, I would say, as we come through the first 400 metres. And right on the outside there is Vickery. Making a really big move, even wider than that, is Mifsud. So Mifsud's put herself in a position to be able to attack if she sees fit. On the inside of them is males. Through 500 metres, 134. And so Isaac's fans are back. They're actually back. They actually follow him around. He's got groupies. It's ridiculous. So they're making their way through. And it's still males behind him there. So it's starting to break up a little bit, this pack. So males tucked in right behind. Going around now is going to be Vickery. So was lingering a little bit wide.
Mifsud's made a
not
big
far
move.
away. Yeah, she went out to lane 4. She just about ran out to Doncaster to get around the pack. And here she is now on the inside of lane 1 at Box Hill.
And sitting in 4th, Carol in the Little Ass singlet.
Yeah.
This
There's
is the
been
highest
heaps
placed
of
Little
Little
Ass
Ass.
singlet we've seen so far.
Yeah. Oi, could we see a Little Ass win? Don't know.
Little Ass win at a seniors event
Be amazing.
would
Be
be.
the- I'll tell you what. If the Little Ass win at the seniors event, has to be performance of the meet.
It's got to be.
Got to be.
Although
Hands down.
technically, I think I'm in the oldest age group of Little Ass. So I could sign up
You're
and get a win
17.
and get performance of the meet.
You're 17.
I think it goes to under
I
17s.
think it's like under 15s, isn't it?
No, it's changed.
It hasn't changed that much.
I could go get the performance of the meet.
you should register. I wouldn't vouch for that. I would call corrupt.
It'd be
if that
dirty.
happened. The pacemaker steps off. So it's going to be a race in 1 right now. So it's going to take a lot of effort for our little athlete to get up there.
But it's all males out front. Mifsud
Vickery. Vickery's overtaken.
Vickery.
So Males has slipped back to third.
The yellow
got
singlets
Vickery, I
are
know.
confusing me. Too many of them.
I understand. 3:30. Vickery. Here comes Mifsud.
And
So
Males.
too now Males.
And then Carroll. And then
Carroll.
Tregus from Box Hill.
You're all over it.
And the rest of the field coming through now. They're all strung out.
Vickery's blown it apart here over the last 110 metres, I would say.
348 through 1200. Trying to do some quick maths. Mitch, what do you think? What are they on track for?
She's running fast.
She's
Let me
running
tell you that
fast.
much for
On
free.
track for something fast.
Let me tell you that much for free.
Close enough.
What was it? 3:48?
48.
Nah, not in me. What is it like? 76ers?
It's too late. Done too much maths.
76ers. That was quick. I put myself down so I don't have the expectation. But you know who should have the expectation to be in the B race, I think, next time is going to be Vickery. So Vickery lets it fly, let it launch from 450 to go, and now with 100 metres to go, she's blown it out to about 50 metres. It's been a demolition. Put her finger on the trigger and said kaboom. So Vickery, 50 metres to go, gets the arms pumping, the 6 on the hip, but number 1 in your hearts and number 1 in the results. Vickery got it now, 4:45. Now we're talking. Great racing from Vickery there as we wait for the rest of the field. Mifsud, hey, she made that move out to lane 3 and it was clearly a good one. 4:54 as she comes through. Great running there. And our little athlete, Carroll, that's probably the highest place.
That's the highest placing.
Yeah, I would say that's the highest.
Very impressive.
I'm wildly impressed. Andrea Jajong, back from injury. As we see the rest of our women come across the line now for the C1500. So that is it for women's racing, not racing in general.
3 to go.
3 to go. I can do that math. So Steve Deneen's here. I just assumed he was listening at home, but he's been listening to me live, right behind me. The mayor of Box Hill Athletics Track, everybody. And the beard of a 60-year-old.
No racing from him tonight.
You going now? Oh, were you really? You're going to run from who else did you run? Was anyone here? Scott would be. Oh, okay. Otherwise, I would have brought clothes on the run. I just heard your voice. Yeah.
Jones Gordon.
Sorry.
Jones Gordon.
What a man.
SSH.
Came down to the track to run.
To try and get you out for a run.
Yeah, tried to get me out for a run. He was clearly listening when we were saying
Just
maybe
trying to
I
help
should
you
start running.
fulfill
I
your
know.
New Year's resolution.
He always is. You will never meet a greater man than Steve Deneen.
You just got to start. Every month
get
that
into it.
goes by,
I know.
it's going to be less likely
It's
to get
not.
into it.
And it shouldn't be hard because I've done it before.
Exactly. You know you can do it.
I know I've got the capabilities.
If you can do it at that competitive level, you should be able to do it at a leisurely level or whatever you're
And
aiming
it
for.
should never miss.
Something tonight we've seen a lot of is lots of families out there, siblings, parents.
It's like it is a night for it. Sorry,
is.
everyone. I'm taking an Instagram photo. So,
Another Norman out there, Angus Norman, hip number 1, going out hard, but Lockie Hurd out there again.
Oh my
He's going to
God.
go to the front.
the man's obsessed.
This is a good session from him. What, 6 or 7 by 800?
It might be at about 8 by 800 by the end of
We'll
it.
have to ask him. He's the real winner from tonight. Pacemaker.
He is a real winner from tonight.
But sitting behind him, hoping for a win, looks like it's Cedarides. And on his shoulder, hip number 10, Murphy from Diamond Valley.
Alan Vernal at the back. Love Alan Vernal. I'm not trying to pick favourites. Just
You've done that a bit tonight.
I have. It's actually horrible, isn't it?
Favourite name, favourite everything.
Well, actually, you haven't given me the style favourite.
Ooh.
There's been a lot of very stylish women, a lot of very stylish men.
I remember I picked one out.
You had the headband.
The headband, yeah.
You got entranced by the headband.
The headband.
Lockie Hurd. This actually would be hard on his body. 69 now as he goes through. So we're starting to, this is the most bunched pack I reckon we've had. There's guys literally running out just about lane 3. I know I said that earlier with Misfis. She only just went out to lane 3 for a second, but some of these guys are running pretty far. Because you had 7 metres every time you're out of it. Humphreys is adding a bit of difference to his race. But anyway, beside the point, I'm not out there doing it. So Sidoritis tucked in nicely behind Lockie Hurd. And the rest of this pack, it's actually just anybody's race. You want to come get it. There's a song about that. I can't remember who it is. I feel like it's Kesha.
Seth Chan's looking good from Old Scotch in third. He's more of a 5K guy, so you can expect him to move through the field towards the end of the race, use that strength.
You can often come down to the 1500 from 5K. Just let your legs come out from underneath you. And that's Murphy in the Diamond Valley colours. Right behind him there is also Velton. And our Hunter Athletic Club, Coghlan. So a lot of Hunter singlets running around Melbourne. Always see them running past Richmond. As we get through the 800, this is where the king of pacemaking, Lockie Hurd's going to step off. I'd love to know if he's running every 800 for the rest of the night. I'd be incredibly interested to find out. But Sidoritis, he's leading it out. Chan behind him. And on the inside of that,
Murphy.
It was Murphy.
And Velton. So 2 Glen Huntley athletes in this lead pack of 5.
Shaking
Another
the arms
athlete
out.
from, it looks like Hunter Athletics Club. I think that's what it said.
Yeah, it's, I believe it's Coghlan. Who's running there? I reckon Lockie Hurd's running the next 800. He's still doing paces down the back straight. So as we make our way around, these boys are going to hear the sweet, sweet sound or the deafening sound of the bell. However you're feeling, Chan has got himself to the front. On the outside of him is Sidoritis, and on the inside of them is his Glen Hunter compatriot. The one we've got to watch out for is Coghlan, I think, from Hunter Athletics. 3:09 on the clock. Wind them up and watch them go. Izak, bring us home here.
I reckon Sidoritis is in the prime position to go here on the outside shoulder. He did do a lot of work early on, but he is looking pretty good. Seth Chan leading him. He's got that 5K strength. We'll see if he can drag them through for a quick time as they go through 1203, 26, 27. Seth Chan still leading. Coghlan making moves on the outside, but this is anybody's race. With 250 to go, it's a 5-man pack here in the front. Seth Chan, Sidoritis, Velton, Coghlan, and Murphy making a move with 200 to go. Murphy from Diamond Valley. He's been sitting in there quietly, and now he's made his move to the front of the field. He's going to slingshot off this bend here as he comes into the home straight. Seth Chan, he's got the 5K strength, but Murphy, he's got the young legs. Does he have the speed to overcome Seth Chan? Coghlan's trying to make more moves on the outside. He just keeps finding another gear. Chan on the inside, Coghlan on the outside. Sidoritis and Murphy trying to fight hard for the podium finish, but it's old Coghlan out front. 4:13. Seth Chan about 4:14, and Sidoritis, Murphy, and Velton as we see the rest of the field move through now. So some very impressive running there. Probably one of the closest finishes we've had. 5 minute with 100 to go.
100%.
Closer than any other race. So
they kept it nice and
very
tight.
impressive running there.
Coghlan was always looking smooth.
He paced it well.
Yeah.
Sat back early on and just moved through.
We've seen a bit of that tonight. The perfect 1500.
Seen some well-raced races today.
Well-timed.
Yes.
Like good temperament. It's easy to get sucked in a 1500, I feel like. But these men and women have done it seemingly quite easy.
Felt that water you're drinking, you'd think you'd be running. Hydrating for something.
Maybe I just enter a random race in the Milers Club at the last one.
Just go. You should do it. 2 months away.
Yeah.
Wants to get fit, or
maybe just do it off the gun. Oh, he's got people everywhere. Hey, I've never seen anything like it. At 17 years old, it's actually the Bibile of the running world.
Sure, you would have been like that back when you were my age. Breaking, you got state records, didn't you, or club records? I definitely feel like I've seen your name in the club rooms there.
Oh, I think there's one lingering there, but I have a feeling Thomas Diamond's going to take it away.
Probably too old now.
How old is he?
Well, He's going into under 20s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's missed it then.
So far, he's only got the under 13 record.
That's a pretty good record, though.
433 is an under 13.
That's actually flying.
It's not bad.
I think he might have just missed it.
Yeah, he's missed his chance. And I've probably missed mine.
Nah.
Would have been under 18s this season.
You can still get it. It's an under 19 record.
Under 19. Oh, so Tom Stein can still get it because he's bottom age.
He can get it. I think he will. No. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you'll get it. Because you have to be 18 to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's he 19?
Well, he turns 18. Well, he's still 17. Yeah.
Oh, mate, you get it easy. You blow it out of the water.
So he's turning 18 in June, I think.
Oh, he's got it. No
There's
worries.
a chance.
7 years it's been there. No better man to take it than Thomas Diamond.
Nah, I can see the salt in your eyes.
No salt. Honestly, I hope you get it.
That'll
I hope
be
you take it from him.
be the final thing that knocks you over the line to get you back into running. The records are gone.
Yeah, the records
you need to get the
done.
open records.
Well,
Stealing from
my old
Andre
man's got
Waring
a
or
record
whoever holds
there.
it. Really?
From about the 80s.
Jeez.
So
keep it in the family, Mitch.
His has lasted a little longer. I think my sister's got one there as well.
You've got to keep it in the family. What's his record for? And
race walking. And my sister's is for javelin. So there you go. What an eclectic bunch.
Do you reckon you're a chance at any of them?
I got pretty big pipes, so I should be a sniff for the javelin. You know, I was built like a refrigerator with legs. I just slimmed down for running.
How often do you hit the gym? Surely you've been doing something instead of running.
10 days a week.
10 days in a week.
10 days a week.
10 days a week. Good to see your maths is up there. Good to see you paid attention in kindergarten.
So just don't tell me about the other 3 days, because otherwise it discourages people. And again, on the outside of this track, I can see Lachlan Rayner. Yeah. So 16 men, 17 toe the field. Oh, Fransky, one of my favourites. You actually can't see him in here. There he is.
There he is.
On the outside. This guy is an absolute
He's a
baller.
state medalist.
Yep.
I've seen him battle
in the 3K, I think.
To a SAS track athlete, Kalen Luong.
Oh, there we go.
One of the best battles of the state champs.
It was the tallest versus the shortest in the race. It was crazy.
Right.
And
he doesn't care about his height. He'll go for it.
No, he's a baller. But he's tucked right at the back of this one. So we got a big,
He'll have plenty of wing coverage. There's not much, but he'll get plenty of coverage.
Look at him. There he is on the outside. So everyone's trying to jostle for a spot. This is probably I don't know if this is the greatest way to describe it, but the dirtiest start we've seen. Because everybody's still moving. They're still fighting around. So
sometimes that's a good thing, though,
because
it keeps the pace moving early on.
How does that work?
That was a 49-second first 300, so they're on track for just over 4 minutes.
So Lockie Hurd, not making him wait around, is he?
Not at all.
Maybe someone's tapped him on the shoulder and said, let's actually just launch it.
And he's done well, because sometimes as a pacemaker, I think they've gone out quicker than expected, but he understands the field, that they all a bit of argy-bargy, they want to go out quick. So instead of just hitting the pace that they've initially asked for, he's adapted, which is good, because from my experience at least, when I paced a 5K, I think I had 3 guys in front of me. So he's done well.
And were you stuck in it and you were going, what the hell is going on?
I was like, I'm just going to stick to the pace, but he's done well to make sure that everyone's getting the benefit of being behind the pacer.
Yeah, always stick to the pace. And
I reckon in a 1500 though, it's the right thing to do to go to the front.
Yeah. Oh, no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't know, because sometimes you can send them out. It's like suicide pace.
Well, he hasn't taken them out at suicide pace, and everyone's still there.
True.
So as long as everyone's still there, it's all right to be at the front.
Well, as you say, everyone's still there. It's starting to string out a little bit now. Not enough to cause any sort of concern if you're sitting at the back. Den Boa is tucked in right behind. We've got a hip number 17. I don't know how that's possible. Right as well from there. And there's about a pack of 6. And I just want to see what Fransky does. He's got so much heart. The second smallest man in the field, I think, is, I was going to say Ollie Pratt, but I don't think it is, because Ollie Pratt is close
a bit further back.
Yeah. So here we go. He's going to go past the 800 now, Lockie Hurd.
He's looking around. On his inside on his outside.
So I can't get a read on who this is at the front. Not even by his number. So it's an interesting one. We'll try and work it out as they come around. 600 metres to go. And Hurd's still in it. So he might be trying to steamroll the 1200 and then bring it home for the last. Imagine. Stays on. Takes the W. I mean,
push them right to the end.
That would be impressive.
Kick down with them.
Oh, we got both Fransky brothers in here.
Didn't know they were brothers.
Yeah, Fransky and Fransky. Fransky. Here we go. Okay, so Lockie Hurd.
Hip number 17 with the headband. We'll call him Green Headband for now.
Yeah.
Green Headband's in the lead.
Let's call him Kermit.
Right.
So
Sitting
Kermit
in
sits
second there.
behind. Behind him there is Wright. Then so too is going to be Denboa. And tucked in one more time there is Ellis.
We've called Denboa plenty of times. He's a regular at Milers Club. I'm pretty sure he's got a win before as well, so we'll see if he can get another tonight. This old Green Headband out the front with...
Let's call him...
Right behind him. Kermit.
I was going to say, watch out for this man, Meliush from Melbourne University. He's going to get moving with his compatriot and Denboa. So Denboa and Meliush with 200 metres to go. They probably look the cleanest. Right in second there, starting to grit his teeth. 3:45 on the clock. Here's Meliush with 180 to go. Kermit out the front. I'm going to call him Kermit because of the green headband. I'm sorry that I don't know your name. We don't have the hip number on here, so I apologise. But you've run the race incredibly well. Meliush behind him there. So too's Right. I don't know if our Diamond Valley athlete can quite get up there, but I'm not going to ride him out just yet. So with 100 metres to go, Ellis from Diamond Valley going to try and grit his cheat. Here's Meliush. He just launches himself around the outside. It was always going to be his race, I reckon. And he might even salute it at 4:16. Well done. Good dip. Kermit comes
second.
through there.
Right for third.
Ellis
fourth. And then I think it was Denboa.
Yeah, Denboa.
And the Mornington boys.
Here's our man.
And your man.
Fransky. What a gutsy effort from Fransky.
In the super shoes.
Seeing
Seeing as your man's got them on, you've got to get a pair.
Superstar super shoes. I don't know if I'll ever wear a pair of spikes again.
Next Milers, mate.
No, I'll do it in flats.
Really? What flats you got? Flats as in racing flats or just joggers?
No. Brooks Hyperions.
Hyperion Elites?
Just Hyperions. I don't have the Elites. Are the Elites with the carbon plate? No, I don't have them.
Well, they look good, so I'm sure the Hyperions look just as good.
I might have to get them.
Might have to.
More a Hoka man, though. Do they have flats? Do they still do spikes?
They do. They do spikes, yeah.
Okay. That might be what I have to get into.
May have to.
Hey, I don't know. I was going to say I want to race Steve Deneen, but he's remarkably fitter than me. Like, just probably fitter than all of us. 17 to round it out. Look at this. We're on time. I can hear the Maccas calling my name. How exciting. 17 athletes and Lockie Hurd are going to round it out here at Box Hill. The men's G 1500 metres. 17 athletes. 18 if you include Lockie Hurd, who has just run what seems like every starting 800 of this 1500 metre evening.
Final race, and he's pacing it. 17 in this one.
Yeah, I reckon we've got...
Have they introduced yet?
14. 15 with Hurd.
You did that faster than my finger was going across the screen. Let me just say. So 14. This is the coldest part of the night, just by the way. I know we're
Still
getting
not even
later,
that chilly, though.
but it's still we're still in a shirt and shorts.
When you've got the adrenaline going.
Yeah. These
keeps you
guys
warm.
wouldn't be feeling anything. Or you and me. The adrenaline's still outrageous.
Honestly, sometimes commentating works up a sweat.
It does.
When it's stressful. The A races.
Oh, I'm tired when I get home. Let me tell you. Not even from the tools, just from commentating.
Where you are now is fine.
3 Mornington athletes here. I've seen a few of them in the last few races.
Got to be training partners. Don't
Gotta
have
be.
to be, but as far as I'm concerned, they're training partners.
Oh, in fact, 4. Another one's just appeared.
Yeah, what?
So 15 then, I think.
You can't just jump in.
14 plus 15. Just didn't notice him before.
Yeah, maybe did a little run through. Ran
Maybe.
back. We just missed him.
In 12 from Mornington, it's 7 Heisman. In 13, we have Daniel Lombardo. In 14, David Rankin from Melbourne Uni. In 15, Hudson Rigg, Mornington Peninsula. Rory Craig from Knox in 16, and Brodie McCarthy from Diamond Valley in 17.
So our men's G 1500. This race is meant to go off at 9:23. It's 9:21. So we're ahead of time.
Too good.
That is remarkable. And racing. So our men's G 1500 metres is going to get underway. Ivanhoe again. We got Warsome on the inside with the Ivanhoe singlet.
Lucky Herd's had some trouble getting on the front there.
It's just about
Almost been
checked
cut
out.
off.
Who did you check out there?
Doesn't matter if you're a pacer.
7 Hewson.
Gotta
Well,
go
I'm
out
not- I don't have to respect you. You don't even have a.
You're in the
singlet
race.
on.
I
You don't
can
have the club
push you
singlet on.
around.
Yeah, this is my race. I'll tell you what, Warsome's going to make it hard for her to get to the front, but this is probably his 450th 800 metre pacing job of the night, so he certainly knows how to get his way there. So this is pretty well spaced out. Little bit of carnage going on towards the back, but I reckon that'll sort itself out pretty quickly. Painter of Geelong Guild behind him there.
I
Haven't
believe
seen many
Warsome
man bums.
up front is a triathlete. So
Oh,
we'll
triathlete,
have
is he?
strength towards the end.
All right. He's gonna get that. He's gonna get that cycling leg going pretty soon.
The
I
leg
reckon.
speed.
Yep. The leg speed will get flying. Warsome. Painter. Behind him there from Diamond Valley is McCarthy. And that's our top 3. So he's got it again. 69. He's just a metronome at this rate.
He went further than 800 last race.
He
I
went
reckon we'll see him go further again.
I think you might see him finish it.
Do you reckon?
Nah.
Yeah, that to him as he passes
I don't
us.
think he will. I don't know why I said that. There's no way he'll finish it. Although if he does
Why
now,
not?
I'm going to look like an idiot. So I should have just backed myself. So here he is, Hurd. Done all the work. Warsome. He's even gapped Warsome just a little bit.
Hurd wants to win.
Yeah.
He said, I've helped everyone else get the win.
Maybe he does want
Time
to
I get a
this
win.
one. Yeah. Hurd's sick of it. He says,
sick
hey,
of it.
I've been carting you boys around for 2.5 hours now. I might be ready to take a win. But Warsome might try and do something about it. Now also moving is Asai on the outside of him. Painter still tucked in nicely on the inside. We've got a few little moves being made towards the back of this field. But it is still Hurd, Warsome, Asai. Painter. Who's gone around one more? Jayalath. So Jayalath, he's going to make his way up there too. A Diamond Valley athlete in McCarthy. Not too far away either. So Asai goes to the front. He's going to sit right behind Hurd, who's going to go through the 800.
I believe that's Harap right behind him. 2 invitational athletes.
Yep.
Who I believe are both from Berwick Track Club.
Oh, there you go.
Or Berwick Cross Country.
Okay. Well,
Coached
they're looking
by
pretty
Ashton
strong
McDonald.
right now. So Jayalath.
Looking very smooth.
Looking incredibly comfortable. They're starting to break up this field a little bit as well. So Lockie Hurd's still in there. So Jayalath and Asai. Those are the 2 tucked in nicely behind Lockie Hurd, who, as we mentioned, and I'll keep mentioning, has raced just about every 1500 tonight, except for the A.
And still, as you like to say, looking incredibly comfortable.
Yeah. Floating.
Your favourite line.
Yep. It looking incredibly comfortable.
It's the truth, though.
I can't help it.
Can't help it.
With 400
Asai
metres to
looking
go.
incredibly comfortable as well.
Asai looks like
3:14 at the bell.
Fish.
And he looks like he's ready to go. We'll see if Lucky goes with him. Helps him along. I think he will.
Villado.
He's talking to him.
Yeah. I reckon
You see him
if you're
turning
Asai,
around.
I reckon you just tap Lockie on the back and say, mate, go.
Keep going.
Just keep drag
We know he can. He's run
Drag
fast.
me. He might tap
He
out
stepped
here.
off
Yeah, he
1200.
stepped
He's
out. Look at
called
him
it.
open it up.
Asai. He's gone
Jeez.
for it. Not messing around.
He's just going to go bang down the back straight. So Asai's not messing around. He's going to widen the gate. He's going to open the arms. He's going to say, hey, boys, this was always my race.
McCarthy's in second trying to
3:45. He's
chase.
dropped a 30-second 200 there. So he's
moving.
He might be going
31.
on for a 60-second last lap. So Asai's
opened
made
up.
an absolute mess of this final men's G 1500 metres, and he's not
McCarthy's
done
gonna
yet.
get second, but it's all Asai up front. 100
Oh, it's
to
just
go.
a
4:03.
A race for Asai. I reckon he 4:15 would be a 60-second last lap. So let's see how close Asai gets to it. In the men's G 1500, by the way. He's going to go
4:17.
62. A 62-second last lap for Asai. So we just opened it up and made a
McCarthy will
meal
come
of
through
it.
for second.
And that's Villado coming through for third. Fighting it out here with some of the boys. Loves it. McCarthy's stoked with that one.
Craig and
great
her up
race.
there, battling it right to the ends.
Hey, Asai,
Awesome, the early leader coming through.
he just breezed a 62-second last lap.
As easy
That's the
as
most
you
effortless
like.
62-second last lap I think I've seen of the night. And it comes in the men's G 1500. And finishing it off here is going to be Drenton. And that is it for meet number 3. And sorry, that was rigged to finish us off. So that is it for meet number 3 of the Victorian Milers Club. Thank you so much, everybody who has joined us on the live streams. Anywhere that you've watched it, anywhere you've absorbed it, thank you so much for joining us. Izak, always an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for
It's good to be here.
for co-hosting
Kick
with
off
me.
2022.
We'll see if Mick comes for the next one. Mick, we do miss you, so if you are listening, can't wait to see you
Should be
back
listening,
here.
surely.
Yeah, he'll be listening. Of course he will be. It's the greatest thing in the world. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. That's all we have here at Box Hill. Thank you very much for Athletics exclusive Lachlan Rayner, everybody that helps out. We'll see you at meet number 4.